Starting with the Iron Man evaluations, this video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 176, Good Guy Card plus N. Memory? Pingfan was in a hurry, so he just searched the guy's mind for the memory of this vicious kidnapping incident. He ignored everything else. Then he handed the extracted data to Jarvis casually, asking him to take a look at it during the element extraction experiment, in case he found something interesting. For example, bank card passwords and the like. Yes, sir, I think you must be interested. Tell me, has his wife cheated on him? Or has he cheated on his wife? This kind of memory that can be broadcast live? Pingfan asked. Jarvis was very calm. He is an advanced intelligence system, commonly known as an AI butler, and he cannot act on impulse or develop emotions. Yes, you must stay calm. You must never criticize such an unreliable master. Sir, it's a book. Book? Who the hell reads books? Now is the 5G era, the internet speed is great, and we have a virtual reality experience device. Reading books is so boring. Sir, it's a book. It's a book. The book you are interested in. Jarvis, did you secretly look at my online records? I tell you, you will be responsible for spreading rumors. I didn't read those books. I just learned the literary talent of the ancients. Like the golden vase. Wait. Pingfan, who was about to defend himself, thought of something. Book? Do you mean the book I learned about in parallel world number 2? Pingfan's expression finally became normal. Jarvis is so happy. It's not easy to have a normal master. Yes, maybe it has something to do with it. But, the Chalofu family has been blown up by me, and that guy was thrown into the sea to feed the fish. Even if there is a book, it may have been destroyed. Sir, the book has been destroyed long ago, but he memorized it word for word in advance. So, the book just happened to exist in his memory, and that memory happened to be extracted. How long will it take to help re-edit the book? 1 day at most. Okay, then you work hard. The book related to the SKR organization, and it is also directly related to the You Are Not Human prop. In fact, that prop is not important to Pingfan. It is nothing. That kind of thing is not that anyone can be infected. It can be turned into an animal capsule, and it needs to be identified according to the degree of animalization. So, it is not very domineering. What surprised Pingfan the most was, the mermaid said that she had seen the book 500 years later. The two parallel worlds intersected. The book is obviously more mysterious than the person who looks like Pingfan. So, Pingfan has a strong interest in it. After a simple decoration in Ocean House, Pingfan returned to the real world. During this period, the company was also on the right track. But today, everyone was at Song Wanling's house. There was no other reason, just because Song Wanling was kidnapped today. Pingfan, how are you? As soon as Pingfan entered the house, he was coldly looked at by King Mui. Oldly, haven't you been a lucky audience? Why are you okay? How should I know? There are many people who are okay. Wasn't the cross-dressing guy at the beginning okay? Nonsense. Who is he? How can he be in trouble? There is also the fat guy who suffered from school violence. He has mosaics. Actually, I have bodyguards. I have 10. Mr. Zhao, who had been silent, spoke up. Fuck, why can't I have good character and not be arrested? How the hell do I know I haven't been arrested? I really want to be arrested. Pingfan rolled his eyes. Forget it. Oldly is a good person. His luck has always been good. Maybe it's God's blessing. Song Wanling persuaded. That's right. Speaking of good people, I've never seen anyone better than my Oldly. Wang Heo patted Pingfan on the shoulder. At the same time, a voice sounded in Pingfan's ears. Good guy card plus 2. To be honest, my Oldly is a good man for 10 generations. He is definitely a good person. If you have any girlfriends or sisters, you can help introduce them. Gao Shuwei made up for it temporarily. Good guy card plus 3. In fact, I think Mr. Lee is also a good person. He gives people a very good feeling. Mr. Zhao really thinks so. The better a person is, the luckier he is. Otherwise, how can he get the favor of the reviewers of all the worlds? Good guy card +4. Get out. I don't know you. You are a good person. Leaping Fan cursed. I'm a scumbag. The kind of thief. The kind that is ruthless. When you pull out that thing. Annoyed. Sending a good guy card when meeting. Did I offend you? Damn. The atmosphere was a little awkward for a while. Leaping Fan calmed down and threw away all his good guy cards before walking to Song Wanling. Are you okay? See, I'm oldly and I'm a good guy. I care about Miss Song so much. We are a perfect match. That's right. Mr. Zhao chimed in. Boss Song, Mr. Lee cares about you so much. He's a rare good man. You should just do it. If possible, I'd like to be the best man. If possible. Leaping Fan turned around slowly. I want to kill you with a cannon. After cursing, he looked at Song Wanling again. There was nothing he could do. He was set up as Song Wanling's pursuer. Your expression didn't seem to change. I thought you were scared. How could that be? Song Wanling waved her hands. When I saw the reviewer come to rescue me, I knew that this kidnapping was worth it. If I had to choose, I would like the kidnapping to last longer. I hope I can be kidnapped again. I hope you have a brain. If you can choose, either drink less water or eat more walnuts. Leaping Fan sighed. Song Wanling can apply for the 9th wonder of the world. There is no other reason. Just the fact that she can live to this age is a miracle. Brainless goods. The creator company is now on the right track. There are as many as 5 clothing brands in cooperation. Moreover, there are other brands that want to cooperate simultaneously. If this is done, it won't take long for the creator app to become an online formal clothing sales channel. Genuine clothing, direct sales from the original. In addition, their factory is also in the process of selecting a site. Tomorrow, accompany me to inspect the factory. If everything goes well, I want to start promoting our own brand within 10 days. Okay. Leaping Fan nodded. Song Wanling is serious about this app and regards it as her own business. It can even be said that her enthusiasm far exceeds that of Leaping Fan. The people gathered at Song Wanling's house are all considered the original shareholders in Leaping Fan's mind. Oh, right. We must exclude Mr. Zhao, the bastard who gives a nice guy card as soon as he meets. Still want to lick my Smurf account? Wait. Chapter 177 I am Zhangking. Leaping Fan has never felt that his life is so fulfilling. Leaping Fan, who has always been loyal to sitting instead of standing, lying instead of sitting, has not slept in these few days. He was woken up by Song Wanling at 6 o'clock every morning. Of course, this waking up does not mean that the two people sleep together and then wake up with their bodies. It's a phone call. That's right. Song Wanling relentlessly launched a phone bombing. Anyway, she just didn't allow Leaping Fan to sleep in. In a few days, they inspected almost a dozen factories, basically 2 a day. For the first time, Leaping Fan felt the horror of working with a woman. Going to inspect the factory can make it feel like shopping. Isn't this scary enough? Basically, Leaping Fan was not given any time to rest on his own. A terrible woman. Thank you for your hard work, Leoli. Today I made you a hearty lunch as a reward. Leaping Fan, who had just finished class, received a text message from Song Wanling. Hearing that there was a hearty lunch, Leaping Fan rushed to Song Wanling's house without stopping. At Song Wanling's house, there were about a dozen dishes on the table. You're here, come and sit down. I'm still cooking black porridge in a clay pot. How about it? See if there's any dish you like. Song Wanling smiled and asked Leaping Fan to sit down. The table was full of delicious food. Grilled oysters, chestnut stewed chicken, Romania stewed fish, garlic chives, braised baby back. Wait, is this another tenfold tonic banquet? Leaping Fan was confused. What the hell? The color of the green plum was somewhat intriguing. Young people don't know how expensive it is, and when they get old, they can only shed tears. I suspect you are targeting me? Be more confident. Isn't it better to get rid of the suspicion? You Boss Song is really pitiful. I understand why Boss Song is unwilling to agree to you. Mr. Lee, I know a few old Chinese doctors. Do you want me to introduce them to you? Mr. Zhao, I know a few people who write epitaphs. They are very good. How about introducing them to you? Huh? Why do I know them? It's useful. Sooner or later. Leaping Fan patted Mr. Zhao on the shoulder, showing an intriguing smile. A lunch. spend the day under everyone's playful gaze. Leapingfan returned to the ocean house. Tomorrow, it will be another day of live broadcast. Huh. In fact, Leapingfan had been thinking about doing something for a long time. But he had no time to do it, because he had been pestered by Songwanling these days. Now is the right time. There is plenty of time. Leapingfan is too familiar with the character of the dog system. This time, he went to the parallel world to evaluate the props. Not only would he have to wait until the live broadcast started to know which parallel worlds were available, but he would also have to wait until he arrived in the parallel world to know the props for evaluation. So now he has time to evaluate the ring challenge ticket in the new permanent prop grid. 100 points per ticket. The key is that it is still unstable. It is not certain that any equipment will be exploded. The most important thing is that it is not certain that any opponent will be drawn. If it is a native brother with an explosive desire to survive, what can he do? What talent can he explode? It's rubbish. After exchanging the ring challenge ticket, the ring was quickly built. It was exactly the same as the temporary ring used in the previous evaluation. A platform more than 10 meters high appeared out of thin air. The challenge ticket also disappeared. 100 points were gone just like that. Damn it, if you don't give me a better opponent, I'll kill you. Leapingfan walked onto the challenge stage. At the same time, he also put on the Fist of the Messiah. This glove has been modified by Jarvis, and an element reactor has been added inside the glove. The reactor can add amplifying element, and these element can be reasonably applied to the glove. And according to the data that Jarvis has listed in detail, the maximum value of these element will not harm the glove itself, and it is within the range that the glove can withstand. Because the glove itself is also a kind of technological mechanical product, there is a safety critical point. If the energy generated by the amplifying element is too large and exceeds the glove's own tolerance range, it will be on the verge of breaking like the previous simple amplifiers. And because the glove is applied to Leapingfan's fist, when it breaks, it will also cause some damage to Leapingfan. Therefore, Jarvis has considered all these factors. With the Fist of the Messiah and the energy reaction device of the Mark 50 armored suit that has been attached to his chest, Leapingfan is fully prepared. Then he stepped onto the ring. Huashan sword contest. Leapingfan can change the environment of the arena. Soon. In the arena, he seemed to appear in the lower peak of Huashan Mountain, which he had climbed before. It was towering into the clouds. He could even feel the cold wind. Of course, this was all the effect provided by the arena itself. Just like when he experienced the desert arena before. In the desert, Leapingfan also felt the burning feeling of the scorching sun. Soon, a beam of light fell from the sky. The light went straight to the left side of the arena. Here you come, don't be too fierce. Leapingfan clenched his right arm and prepared his left hand. The light faded away little by little. A figure in white clothes appeared in front of Leapingfan. The man was tall and had black hair like a waterfall, dancing with the cool breeze on the top of Huashan Mountain. He carried a long sword on his back. His sword eyebrows were like stars, and his face was cold. Just standing there gave people a perfect feeling. A knight. This must be a knight. Leapingfan was happy. He finally met a great god from the background of Chinese civilization for the first time. Where is this place, and who are you? The man in white clothes spoke. He looked like a handsome man walking out of a painting, and his voice was very pleasant. This is the trial field of the heavens. Leapingfan coughed lightly and decided to act big. You are the chosen one, the best among men. I specially chose you to come here to give you some pointers. Points? The man in white clothes was a little confused. What? Don't believe it? Well, you can try to see if you can leave here. Leapingfan crossed his arms and looked at him quietly. Think of a way to rub him directly. It would be best to scare him. Well, the way that can be told is not the eternal way, and the name that can be named is not the eternal name. Leapingfan smiled indifferently, and after watching the handsome man in white clothes who tried to leave and failed, he took 2 steps forward. This place is the Asking Immortal platform for this level of China. It is a great opportunity for you to ascend to Asking Immortal platform. After being trained by me, you will surely ascend to heaven in the future. After Leapingfan finished speaking, the man in white cautiously held the long sword across his chest. My Shushan has always been involved with the fairy world, and I have never heard of the asking a mortal platform in the fairy world. What kind of monster are you? It seems like something has gone wrong. Wait, he said Shushan? You are from Shushan? Leapingfan asked in astonishment. As a Chinese, who doesn't know the Shushan sword immortal? I am, and I will never change my name. Shushan, Zhu Changqing. Chapter 178 Victory. Leapingfan's eyes were twinkling with stars. He even rubbed his eyes to make sure he saw it right. Zhu Changqing? This person said he was from Shushan and his name was Zhu Changqing. How could Leapingfan not know this name? He became the disciple of the head of Shushan since he was a child. He was extremely talented in martial arts. He was the eldest brother of Shushan and had a 3-life relationship. He was the future 23rd head of Shushan. A man with white clothes as white as snow and as graceful as a fairy. Who are you? Zhu Changqing held the long sword across his body, frowned slightly, and scolded coldly. Leapingfan coughed twice and put away his crazy look. Who didn't have a fairy dream when he was a child? Who hasn't thought about flying a sword across the world and fighting demons with a sword? Those who have watched or played The Legend of Sword and Fairy have more or less this idea in their hearts. Envy the extraordinary experience of every character in it. For example, Li Xiaoyao, Jingshan and the like. In addition to the male protagonist, the male second like Zhu Changqing is also very classic and popular. I'm a banished immortal. A demon. I'm the head of Shushan. How dare you be so stubborn and pretend to be the head of Shushan? Believe me, I'm really the head of Shushan, but it's many years later. Headmaster Zhu, it is indeed a demon. I have been expelled from Shushan, and you still dare to talk nonsense and try to deceive me. I will kill you. Zhu Changqing stopped talking nonsense and rushed towards Leapingfan with a sharp sword in his hand. Finally, I met an interesting opponent. Leapingfan stopped fooling Zhu Changqing. Sure enough, TV is all deceiving. How can this tofu who grew up in the mountains be so easy to fool? In fact, it is not. That Bei Daofu is not easy to fool. Although he grew up in the mountains, he doesn't care about worldly affairs and is relatively simple. It doesn't mean that he is stupid. Leapingfan is full of fighting spirit. He hopes to get some interesting things out of Zhu Changqing. After all, it has been so long. He has never come into contact with any myths or immortals in China. Regardless of Taoism or some kind of magic, he must win this time. Clang! The long sword hit Leapingfan like a piercing wind. It just happened to hit the fist of Messiah on Leapingfan's hand. Sparks flew, very fierce. Good. After the sword missed, Zhu Changqing tapped his toes lightly, and his body jumped up like a light swan. The long sword seemed to be chopped down softly, but it was actually full of force. After holding the power with one hand, Leapingfan punched the long sword. With a bang, it shook off the long sword that Zhu Changqing had cut down and knocked him back. The iron fist was ruthless. You are indeed not an ordinary person. After a few collisions, Zhu Changqing felt how powerful this boy was. Leapingfan's strength is indeed good. After constant training, his physical strength has reached a level beyond ordinary people. In addition, the fist of Messiah itself has the characteristic of amplifying physical ability, so his fist is very iron. Very iron. Zhu Changqing, who was far away, passed his 2 fingers over the long sword, chanted a spell, and the long sword suddenly burst into a wonderful light, and the light was very bright. Go. The long sword flew out of his hand. It rushed towards Leapingfan at super speed. The sword control technique of Shushan Xianji in school. Using ki to control the sword. In addition to flying the sword, it can also hurt people with sword ki. Zhu Changqing was like a proud crane, with both hands pinching the spell, and the long sword flew extremely fast. It seemed that a sword could form an exquisite sword formation, and it forced Leapingfan with the power of thunder. The speed was very fast. Control the fire to kill the monster. Zhu Changqing controlled the sword with one hand, and carved the spell in the void with the other hand. Leapingfan was quick-eyed and quick-handed. As the spell took shape, the ring on the other hand burst into brilliance, and the middle finger was covered by a piece of finger sleeve. Nano god level middle finger. Even if it was damaged. But there was no way now. Leapingfan had to win. While the fire of killing monsters sprayed towards Leapingfan, his god level middle finger was also covered. He raised it suddenly. The flame was absorbed and then burst out with a bang. The powerful flames came suddenly, and Zhu Changqing had no time to react. The long sword was also shaken away by the energy released by the explosion of flames. At the same time, Li Pingfan exerted force on his feet and rushed towards Zhu Changqing like a swift leopard. In the process of rushing over, the god-level middle finger dissipated and returned to the shape of a ring. It was barely used before, and it had a few more cracks. The iron fist blasted out. Zhu Changqing seemed to have anticipated Li Pingfan's attack. Perhaps it was also an instinctive reaction from years of practice. He subconsciously retracted the long sword and held it horizontally in front of him. However, the attack of the Messiah's fist was just a cover. The real attack was in the left hand. As Li Pingfan clenched his left hand, a white background with red lines and a sharp angled armor on the shoulder covered it. Boom. This time, it was beyond Zhu Changqing's imagination. Zhu Changqing, who was hit by a punch, fell to the ground, and the ground under him was cracked into countless cracks. Looking closely, these cracks did not appear without warning, as if they had been pieced together. It was a huge skull. It looked hideous and terrifying. Zhu Changqing, who was hit by the demon's left arm, had blood oozing from the corner of his mouth. You are indeed a demon. There was no way. Li Pingfan's left arm was really scary. In addition, the horn that spread out from his shoulder. Think about it. There is a demon king in the world of sword and fairy, the supreme demon. His most eye-catching feature is the horns on his head besides his wings. Now it looks a bit similar. Demon of the demon world, I will kill you today. Puff. A mouthful of blood spurted out and fell on Zhu Changqing's long sword. The blood light suddenly became bright, and the long sword seemed to be enlightened and bloomed with brilliance. The sword moved with the finger, and the finger moved with the heart. With a whoosh, the long sword blasted out. The speed was super fast, beyond Li Pingfan's imagination. He didn't even have a chance to react. The long sword went straight to his chest. Li Pingfan didn't dodge. If you hit my head, then you win. With a bang, the long sword hit Li Pingfan's chest. What a pity. Li Pingfan was wearing a dragon scale armor. One is the world of immortals. The other is the world of mythology. It is difficult for a Taoist to destroy the dragon scale armor from the dragon palace. When the long sword was against his chest, the suit on Li Pingfan's body burst into a crystal blue light, like the blue waves of the sea. At the same time, a dragon shadow vaguely appeared behind him. Master Zhu, we will meet again. Believe me, Master Zhu, you will definitely become the head of Shushan in the future, the 23rd generation head. After saying that, Li Pingfan raised the Messiah's fist high, and the sun's light fell on the Messiah's fist. This move, I call it sending you to see Jesus, but for you, it should be sending you to see the Emperor of Heaven. After saying that, boom. A punch hit Zhu Changqing. The surging golden light turned into a beam of light and swallowed Zhu Changqing in the blink of an eye. Silence. The golden light fell. Zhu Changqing had already disappeared from the field. Li Pingfan was breathing heavily. Zhu Changqing still had many unique skills that he hadn't used yet. If Li Pingfan didn't have the 10,000 dragon scale armor, he would have failed in this competition. Just after the competition ended, Li Pingfan saw a ball of golden light in the direction where Zhu Changqing disappeared. Exploded. Chapter 179 Return to the Moon. Character. This is character. What happened? Was it the sword control technique or the star sword? Li Pingfan was very excited. The star sword is Zhu Changqing's sword and is described in the game world as the legendary sword that breaks the chaos of heaven and earth. Just from this one point, you can know how powerful this long sword is. You know, the star sword can only be successfully made with the chaos relics plus ember. Even if it's not the star sword, it's the sword control technique. I have to say, now I think of those sword immortals in white clothes walking on swords, which is still very handsome. I can't help drooling. He can be called a model among sword immortals, the best of the best, who must be very exciting to pick up girls. Sword God. When the golden light fell into Li Pingfan's eyebrows, it brought two words at the same time. The name of the word, Sword God. At the same time, it brought a line of introduction, the strongest sword control technique of the Shushan Immortal Sword School, summoning the Sword God, 10,000 swords flying together. Li Pingfan was shaking with excitement. 10,000 swords flying together? Fuck, this is too awesome. He likes this ring more and more. System, how much does this ring cost? Oh no, how many points can I buy it? He subconsciously regarded himself as Mr. Zal. For Mr. Zal, things that can be solved with money are not a problem. For Pingfan, things that can be solved with points, ugh, it depends on how many points he has. If the reviewer is lucky enough to get the ring, the price in the 10% discount mall is 99,999 points. Please work hard. Damn. 100,000 points at a 10% discount, which means that the full price is nearly 1 million points. In addition to the bubbles, he didn't want to express anything now. I'd better use the experience voucher honestly, isn't it good? The challenge voucher was used up. The ring disappeared out of thin air. Pingfan landed steadily on the ground. Now his physical fitness has been left behind by several streets. Even if he falls from a 10-meter high ring, he will not fall awkwardly. Who? The sword god is summoned by ki, and the swords in the so-called 10,000 swords flying together are all transformed by ki. But what if I haven't practiced it? Pingfan knew it then. He had never practiced the shush and heart method, and there was no so-called ki in his body. But fortunately, everything was settled by the system. Sword god is activated once for every 100 points. 100 points are the base points, which can be accumulated infinitely. The more points you use to open the sword god mode, the greater the power. In other words, if you want to use the sword god, you need at least 100 points. But you can also choose to use 1000 points to activate the sword god. In that case, the power of the sword god will be greater. 10 times. But in this case, the meaning of 10 times is completely different from opening it 10 times. For example, the damage value of the sword god with 100 points is 1, but at least 9 points of damage value are required to hurt the opponent. Even if you consume it 9 times and use the sword god 9 times, I'm sorry, the power of the sword god is 1 each time, and the number increases, but the energy of the body will not increase. But here, you can merge 9 times into 1. The sword god with 9 times the power is enough to destroy everything. A new trump card has been added. Pingfan's eyes were shining. He was looking forward to it. It's over. The sword god can't be opened casually. Each time it is opened, 100 points are required. Pingfan will naturally not waste time just to have fun. Unfortunately, the sword god is a very powerful attack in the sword control technique, not the overall sword control technique, and it is still impossible to rely on the sword god to control the sword. Although he lost a good skill for pretending, he also got a trump card. There are still a few hours before the live broadcast. Pingfan is a person who knows when to stop. This time, he can randomly draw Zuchanking in the arena, and get a talent of Zuchanking by brushing the arena, and it is a sword god talent. This is enough. There is no need to open the arena again, and there is no need to fight again. His face has never been very white. He thinks he is born unlucky, and he should keep it steady after finally getting lucky once. By the way, there is also a super soldier factory blueprint. Pingfan has not thought about how to use the factory blueprint recently. This is a prop for building mechanical soldiers. After using the blueprint, it will automatically build a factory. As for any materials needed to build soldiers, the factory will go to the nearby terrain to survey and dig them. The reason why Pingfan has not used this factory blueprint is because there is no suitable terrain. The ocean house is obviously not suitable. But if it is outside, building a soldier factory out of thin air will cause panic. The most important thing is that the factory needs to mine resources for building soldiers. Unless you occupy the land, wouldn't it be harmful to society? It was late. Pingfan sighed and couldn't help looking up at the sky. Through the transparent roof of the ocean house, he saw a starry sky. The bright moon hung in the sky, shining brightly. It seemed that the plasma cloud he had created on the moon before had not dissipated yet. Moon, 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 you can shine on the south and the north. If you shine on her, just tell her that I miss her. Fuck, moon, fuck, moon. Pingfan originally thought of a common saying, and when he was muttering it, he suddenly thought of something. He had just returned from the moon a few days ago. When doing the evaluation on the moon, some information was also sorted out. Information about the minerals on the moon. Fuck, super soldiers are similar to mechanical soldiers, but they are not human. Even if there is no oxygen on the moon, they can survive. The key is that the resources on the moon are rich and no one disturbs them. Pingfan was surprised. He finally found a suitable location for the blueprint of the super soldier factory. The moon is vast and sparsely populated. No, there is no one at all. The super soldier factory can develop however it wants. Just choose the moon. Pingfan doesn't need to worry about how to take back those super soldiers. He also has a portal combiner. With this thing, he can choose the location at the moon and ocean home. At that time, the super soldiers born in the super factory on the moon can also come to ocean home through the portal combiner. This is Pingfan's private army. Tap his chest twice. Mark 50 redressed, and the defense layer above ocean home opened. Pingfan rushed up. Rush to the sky. Mark 50 is enough to protect him from impacting space. This suit of armor is suitable for space operations. Moreover, the power can also help him get rid of gravity. Moon, here I come again. Soon. Pingfan had already broken free from the atmosphere, completely got rid of gravity, and rushed into the sky. The moon is not far away. Full speed. Space shuttle can be achieved for short distances, such as flying to the moon. It will be difficult to travel farther, and there will be problems with various aspects of power. At this moment, he has arrived at the moon again. Chapter 180 Factory Site Selection. Arrived on the moon. The only things Pingfan brought this time were the blueprints of the super soldier factory and the portal combiner. Well, let's choose the back of the moon. Pingfan, who was just preparing for the family super soldier factory, thought of a key question. If someone used an astronomical telescope to explore the moon, but found that there was a factory busy on the surface of the moon, wouldn't it be a blast? The back is much better. The back of the moon is the side that always faces away from the Earth. During the long-term evolution of the Earth-Moon system, the tidal force between the Earth and the moon gradually slowed down the rotation of the moon, and eventually caused the moon to be tidally locked by the Earth. Since then, the moon has always faced the Earth with the same side. The other side of the moon can never be fully seen from the Earth. This is the mysterious back of the moon. Let's go to the back. I heard that there is a lunar probe launched by my great China on the back. Pingfan didn't plan to destroy it. Now the relationship between him and China is very delicate. The latter seems to satisfy him unconditionally and can even be said to be tolerant of him. Pingfan is originally a Chinese. The only thing he is dissatisfied with China is those unknown palaces. What about the little fairy who picked the stars? She was a bit of an old hand. Pingfan saw it when she helped Pingfan to destroy a branch palace of Yuxu Palace last time. She said she was helping him. In fact, she was just taking the opportunity to weaken the strength of Yuxu Palace. She saw through it, but didn't say it. It was also that time that Pingfan knew that the so-called three palaces were not directly under the jurisdiction of Huaxia. After Friday helped analyze the terrain of the moon, he formulated a route. Pingfan traveled at a speed of several thousand meters per second. He soon arrived at the back of the moon. If the front of the moon is a bit uneven, it is because he has not seen the back of the moon. If you use a human face to describe it, the front of the moon is a face full of pockmarks, and the back of the moon is a face on the pockmarks. Just like honeycomb coal, there are bumpy craters everywhere. According to the terrain blueprint calculated by Friday, only about 2.5% of the area on the back of the moon has the flat terrain of the moon sea. In comparison, the moon sea terrain accounts for 31.2% on the front, and you can see the difference. The terrain of this broken place is up to more than 6,000 meters, and the highest point of ups and downs can reach more than 9,000 meters. But it is precisely because of this that the resources on the back are richer. There may be some minerals from other galaxies in the universe in those craters, which were left behind because of the impact on the moon. Facing the light, Pingfan successfully found a suitable lunar sea on the back of the moon, covering an area of about 20,000 square kilometers. It's enough. Of course, there is light on the back of the moon. The back of the moon is not the dark side of the moon. The latter refers to the hemisphere of the moon that is not illuminated by sunlight at a certain time. The two concepts are the same, only when the moon is full. In fact, in terms of heat, the back of the moon directly receives more sunlight than the front of the moon. But because the Earth also reflects sunlight to the moon, the brightness of the front of the moon will be higher. That's it. Li Pingfan looked around and found no trace of U2. Of course, U2 is not Change's pet. It is Yuta-2, an astronomical vehicle exploring the back of the moon. After the blueprint of the super soldier factory was taken out, it was placed on a flatland. Then, the blueprint glowed, and then a virtual factory model with a three-dimensional concept began to be built. The construction speed was very fast. Although it was fast, it could not be formed directly. At this speed, it would take at least 10 or 20 disappearances to complete the construction. Obviously, it was not enough in the world. Li Pingfan would start live broadcasting again in a few hours, and he couldn't be on the moon. Ignoring the super soldier factory being built, Li Pingfan chose to stay away and installed the transmission channel of the portal combiner near the factory. The channel is actually a palm-sized square block. After being attached to the ground and activated, soon, something similar to a metal carpet was formed, covering an area of about 10 square meters. This is a passage to the earth. Li Pingfan left the handle of the portal on the earth, and in the ocean home. The mermaid will open the space channel on the earth. That's it. It will be much more convenient to travel to the moon in the future. Li Pingfan stretched. Finally, everything is done. Wait for the super soldier factory to be built, and the super soldiers to appear. This army hidden in the moon is his personal weapon, which will always come in handy in the future. When Li Pingfan was setting up a super soldier factory on the back of the moon, Earth, the Lunar Exploration Organization, the team responsible for managing the Yuta-2, clearly saw from the projection screen several photos of the lunar probe transmitted back to the Earth through the Magpie Bridge channel. In the photos, the back of the moon is clearly visible. In addition to the towering craters and various uneven craters, a red and gold armored man appeared in the photo. The most important thing is that in front of this armor, there is a huge virtual factory that seems to be presented through some kind of projection technology. I just don't know what it is used for. In addition, the transmission carpet built by Li Pingfan on the ground was also photographed. Is this really the Wanji evaluator? He went to the moon again. Or went directly to the back of the moon. What is this for? It feels a bit scary. By the way, there is an order from above that anything related to the Wanji evaluator must be reported to Chief Long in a timely manner. Soon, the laboratory was full of people. They were all staring at the picture transmitted on the projection screen. In the picture, Li Pingfan's armor was particularly clear. In fact, when Yuta-2 was taking photos, Li Pingfan had already discovered it. It's just that he didn't do anything. It was built on the moon, and it would be discovered sooner or later. It doesn't matter. Could they destroy the moon? This is also impossible. It's the Wanji evaluator, but he went to the moon again. Is this photo taken now? Yes, it was just taken. After receiving the news, Mr. Long quickly led people to the laboratory. Can we take more photos? We can only wait for Yuta-2 to transmit back through Magpie Bridge. Not long after, Yuta-2 sent another three-dimensional picture. Looking around, the factory in the photo is still there, but it is still in virtual form. The metal carpet is also there. It just feels relatively empty. There is no trace of the evaluator. Did he leave so soon? No, I feel that the virtual super factory seems to have a physical feeling, which is different from before. What is this thing? What exactly did the evaluator do on the moon this time? Li Pingfan certainly hasn't left yet. At this moment, he is behind Yuta-2. Chapter 181 live broadcast begins. Friday, scan Yuta-2 to see if there is anything that needs repairing. After all, it is a Chinese weapon, so if they can help, they are willing to do it. It's just a piece of cake anyway. After a simple check to make sure that Yuta-2 has no major problems, Li Pingfan left here, but before leaving, he helped send Yuta-2 to another more fun place. It's better to be far away. After solving everything, Li Pingfan stood on the metal transmission channel and gave instructions to hybrid number 2 through Li Pingfan's split brain. The mermaid inserted the door handle into the ground, and then the door handle turned into a crystal light and soon condensed into a virtual door. As the door handle was pulled, the portal opened. Li Pingfan disappeared on the moon and reappeared in the ocean home. It's so convenient. Li Pingfan, who had just returned to the ocean home, received a message from the star-picking fairy. Comrade Reviewer, is the one on the back of the moon your mother? It's me, not my mama hem. Typus. Typus, don't mind these details. Speaking of which, comrade reviewer, can you go to the moon at will now? Is it difficult? Not difficult. It's really not difficult for you. I want to ask, what's the matter with the light blue factory virtual projection on the moon? Why do you want to make a projection on the back of the moon? Is it another new review prop? Pingfan knew that he would definitely come to ask him. This is also the reason why he didn't stop Yuta too when he found out that it was secretly taking pictures of him. Pingfan deliberately let Yuta send the photos back. He still has a good impression of China. However, he doesn't know China's attitude towards him. He hopes to live in peace, at least not like the Chailuofu family who wants to take advantage of the situation. It just so happens that this factory is a means. No matter what China thinks, with the factory, they may weigh it. In this way, it can also ensure that his relationship with China will not deteriorate. It's nothing, just a factory that builds mechanical soldiers. What is a factory for mechanical soldiers? Are you planning to form your own army? Comrade evaluator, what? I'm not allowed to build a soldier army on the moon. That's not the case. I'm just worried that it will cause panic. Don't worry, my army will never harm China. Similarly, I won't let it appear unless someone threatens me. I think you should remember the incident with the Chailuofu family. If it happens again, I don't know what kind of accident will happen. Pingfan's words are absolutely correct. After a moment of silence, the star-picking fairy sent another message. In this case, we will keep it secret for you, comrade evaluator. Please rest assured, Mr. Long. You should also rest assured. I'm a Chinese. Naturally, I will not do anything that harms China. I also hope that China can regard me as a friend. Please rest assured that China will always stand on the same line with you and will be your most reliable friend. However, I can't be sure about Zhanggan now. The attitude of Biao Palace towards you is inclined to win you over. Beijing Palace is always mysterious and unpredictable. And as for Yuzhou Palace, I think they should. Don't worry, if you don't have eyes, I don't mind helping them to get rid of the list. After a simple exchange, Pingfan's knot was also forgotten. After a few hours of rest, the live broadcast evaluation officially began. The live broadcast room opened on time at 9 o'clock. The current live broadcast room has covered all network platforms in China. Basically, each live broadcast will help Pingfan make a profit of hundreds of thousands when it is small, and up to 1 million when it is large. The last live broadcast lasted more than 10 hours and went to an alien planet. In addition to the fierce battle of Bao Fengsahang, after a live broadcast, Pingfan's income reached more than 3 million. Not only that, more than 3 million was donated to charity. Money is really just a number to him now. Welcome everyone to the reviewer's live broadcast room on time. We meet again. Pingfan greeted the video recorder. In a blink of an eye, people exploded. Wow, the host is really awesome. He has dominated the screen and headlines these days. He doesn't intend to keep a low profile at all. What a true man, a role model for our generation. Haha, the Chailuofu family, which was once famous and existed for more than 300 years, was destroyed in one day and turned into ruins. This method really shocked the world. Strong, terrifying. With the host's current strength, he can get back his position, even if he goes to the Zuanfa world. Powerful and domineering. That's right. These days, the headlines on the internet, TV programs, and various media are all about the Wanji evaluator. It's not just the heat of the discovery of life on alien planets. Super Earth actually has life. And it's a terrifying creature. Can Super Earth really be used as a habitable zone for human interstellar migration? I'm afraid we have to think about it. Stormblood Red is strong enough. But it is not the opponent of the white-haired monster, although we know that the nemesis of the white-haired monster is seawater. But the huge mouth that appeared behind it seems to be able to swallow stars and spit out the moon. It was so terrifying. The heat of planetary civilization had not yet dissipated. An extra live broadcast of the Wanji evaluator was launched. But this live broadcast was not for evaluating props. There was no precedent before. The Wanji evaluator announced his strength to the world and to all forces on the entire Earth. But, was what he revealed really all his strength? People are not stupid. The most important thing is the destruction of the Chailuofu family. especially the one at the end of the countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Shocking. I think no one in this world should dare to harm the evaluator stupidly. I just don't know if the evaluator can deal with nuclear weapons. Don't forget that nuclear weapons are still the masters of the world. Although the god level middle finger can introduce and absorb element, can the energy of nuclear weapons be absorbed? Even if it can be absorbed, how many can it absorb? Now, perhaps it has just reached a peaceful stage. You ignorant people, can nuclear weapons break through the ocean house? This is something unknown, and no one dares to try. If it fails to break through, it will usher in the same catastrophe as the Chalofu family. Everyone wants to live well. Looking at the constantly flashing barrage, Pingfan smiled and stretched out his hand to make a downward movement. Okay, everyone, let's talk about the content of this live broadcast. Pingfan chuckled. This live broadcast will once again have the opportunity to broadcast to a parallel world. Please calm down. I really don't mean to whet your appetite, but I don't know which parallel worlds the live broadcast will go to. Yes, that's right. It's a few parallel worlds. And forget it. No. And now let's see where we can go. Chapter 182. Ace Imperial Secretary. He was destined to miss the chance to visit the parallel world number 3 that he had always wanted to go to. In fact, in addition to the parallel world number 3, it might be possible to visit the parallel world of the Walking Dead. Pingfan knew a little about the Walking Dead. This was a world swept by the zombie virus. At least in his early understanding of this world, there was nothing particularly terrifying, anything beyond civilization. Right now, if he were to go there, he would definitely be able to sweep everything away. The steel armor killed everything, and the Stormblood crushed the world. It was that simple. If that didn't work, the attack on Titan would also work. How to say that world? He didn't know much, but he didn't know nothing about it. Some giants could even be killed by humans. After he went there, wouldn't it be too difficult to kill them? Add the Stormblood, and it's not certain who will be the father of the giant world at that time. What a pity. The attack on Titan also failed to make the list. The only two continents that were in a stalemate were the Wuhan continent and the Ace Inspector continent. In the end, the Ace Inspector led by 52 votes. In a vote with tens of millions of people participating, the difference of dozens of votes is really not a difference. Pingfan knows both Wuhan continent and Ace Sensor continent. In comparison, perhaps the safety level of Ace Sensor continent is higher, and Wuhan continent is a bit dangerous. However, no matter which continent he goes to, it is no problem for him. The anchor has a broken conscience and actually wants to go for a walk. Ace Sensor, my Ace Sensor finally won. Go, Anchor, you must overthrow my Huang Bangsun. Why do I always feel that there is no difference between listening to you say Huang Bangsun and calling it a weasel? Fuck, you want to die by defiling my Huang Xianzi? Upstairs, I wish you will suffer from diabetes insipidus within 3 days and become the bio brother of the new era. Feeling sorry for him is just what he deserves. It's better that he didn't directly dox you when insulting my Huang Xianzi. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to how tempting the real version of Huang Xianzi is. I won't say more. I'll go wipe my drool first. Don't be ruthless. It actually suppressed my Wuhan continent. Alas, I still want the anchor to grow a little in Wuhan continent. Grow? Are you sure the anchor can grow in Wuhan continent? Wuhan continent may be much higher than the Zhuanfa world. It may not be a good thing for the anchor to go there now. Stop making excuses. You clearly want to see Sister Huang. Anyway, it's settled now. The parallel world he is going to is the Ace Imperial History world. This is a fact that cannot be changed. I just don't know what to evaluate this time. I shouldn't have too many intersections with local people. Okay, everyone, now we are officially going to the parallel world. After saying that, Pingfan stretched out his hand to open the void, and then he rode on the Stormblood Red. After making all preparations, he officially went to the parallel world. The internal space of Stormblood Red is very large, and some personal belongings can be placed in the cockpit. After the live broadcast room lost the signal briefly, the screen was restored again. Pingfan appeared on a green mountain. The scenery is very good. Moreover, it appeared in the suburbs. After asking Friday to check and make sure there were no unexpected situations around, Leapingfan came out of the storm. He did not bring hybrid number 2. The strongest point of hybrid number 2 is the regeneration and division ability of Bionic's new sterilization. But unfortunately, Leapingfan has copied the tissue division ability, and all the abilities of the tremor fruit have been obtained. Hybrid number 2 is now just his little trumpet. When he has nothing to do, he studies and extracts those extraordinary magnetic ores. It is not necessary to help fight for the time being. After walking down, Leapingfan took off his armor and took a deep breath. The background view of the world of Ace Inspector is basically the same as our world. It can be said that it was created based on our world as a prototype reference. So, this plain world is very suitable for us to survive. This clear air, without any haze, the sky is so pure blue. Leapingfan stretched. If this is not a live review, I really want to sleep in here and relax as a trip. Standing on a mountain hundreds of meters high, Leapingfan walked to the top of the mountain and pointed his hand into the distance. The beach in the distance is nice, with golden sand and blue water. Even if you want to relax, don't go here. Go to the beach. Isn't it nice to apply sunscreen on the girls? White. Cough cough. White beach. I don't mean anything else. I'm just talking about the beach. I think you are a fool, and you still want to go to the beach. But seriously, if you want to go on vacation, you have to go to the beach anyway. What's the point of being here? Look, I seem to have seen big sisters in bikinis dancing happily, chasing each other, playing volleyball on the beach, and jumping. If you do something stupid again, I'll beat you to death. I really want to know, this kind of character who was supposed to be in the two-dimensional world, suddenly descended with the anchor, still appeared in the two-dimensional image, or in the real image? Also curious. Curiosity +1. Stupid, last time the host had fought with Tato Chidori from the Death God clean, and he appeared in real life. What? Death God? Is it true? Tato Chidori, the muscular man? Damn, I just started following the host recently. I feel like I'm wrong. Host, go over and take a look. Help the girls pick up the volleyball and hold the parasol. To be honest, Leapingfan is not interested in beaches and oceans at all now. Last time, after a circle around the super blue star, all he saw was ocean. He finally found a small isolated island, but that island had problems again. Can an ordinary island extend hundreds of meters or even thousands of meters in height in an instant? So, now Leapingfan has seen too much sea, and he might vomit. Have you forgotten why the host came this time? He is not here to travel, just give a simple introduction to this world. The key is to evaluate props. No problem, Anchor, ignore these people, and introduce what props will be reviewed in this live broadcast. Looking forward to it. It's started, it's finally starting. Leapingfan let out a long sigh. He didn't deliberately wear steel armor. Anyway, this is a plain world. What if the people in this world can see themselves clearly? Unlike the parallel world, this world and their world do not interfere with each other and do not contact each other. Therefore, it is not so important to keep the identity confidential. Okay, everyone, the props for this live broadcast review are boom. Before Leapingfan finished speaking, there was a loud bang on the golden beach in the distance. Smoke and dust rose up. Then a person was thrown into the sea, like a cannonball. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 183, Live broadcast in both worlds. A loud rumble interrupted Leapingfan's original plan. He had to stop summoning the evaluation props and look into the distance. On the golden beach, smoke and dust rose up, and from time to time there was a sound similar to an explosion. And from time to time, people were thrown over on the sea, splashing water. Although Leapingfan knew something about this world, it was only a very basic understanding, and he had not seen many plots. Now he couldn't understand what was happening. Ahem. Friends in the live broadcast room, who can tell me what's going on with that beach? Is there anything wrong? There are night watchmen, gravekeepers, and demons in this world. If there is a monster that harms society, it should not be too much. Monster, it must be a monster. Based on my 20 years of experience in the world, this must be the legendary sand monster, and the sand monster's unique skill is to summon sandstorms, especially with the formula, look at my big sand arm. That's right, you are a sand wall, not an ordinary sand wall, the 9 reincarnation sand wall. Wood scent. This is the Ace Inspector, not the list of monsters. I know which plot this is. But unfortunately, does your phone have network in the parallel world? Even if I tell you, you can't check it. By the time I finish typing, the live broadcast will probably be over. If you don't talk nonsense for a long time, you can tell the anchor. If I'm not wrong, this plot should be the double evils. The male and female evil spirits want to collect 30 bloodstones and then completely merge. Yes, I remember it too. That's right, this is the double evils. Their weakness seems to be the crescent moon on their foreheads. Ah, you're so stupid, I'm going to kill you with a mouthful of 30-year-old phlegm. Are the 2 evil spirits with crescent moons on their foreheads? They are obviously D-Ringy. Come on, you're going to kill yourself. That's Yuan Fang and D-Ringy. Ha, I always say that Li Bei is so showy. I'm also full of questions. Did you guys talk about the game? The crescent on the forehead is clearly the one that can place the hook. Okay. What's his name? Zhang Kui. The strongest Zhang Kui in the national server is displayed online. I will show you off with my Dao-chan. Did we go off track again? What are we doing? Yes. Help the anchor analyze. Who is the one with a crescent on the forehead? Forget it. You guys don't analyze it anymore. I was not confused before, but now I feel like I have entered a spider hole. It's a mess. It doesn't matter who has the crescent on the forehead. The crescent of the male and female demons is on the neck, which is their weakness. Yes, on the neck. It seems like they need a kiss. Does it look like a fairy tale for a prince? You are here to make trouble. Forget it. No matter what they are doing there, it has nothing to do with us anyway. Pingfan cleared his throat. If this continues, the review live broadcast may have to be changed to a game live broadcast. Pingfan pointed his finger to the sky. He still doesn't know what the review props are. Just as he pointed his finger to the sky, in a blink of an eye, the clear and boundless blue sky was covered by a thick layer of black clouds. The black clouds rolled and covered the entire sky in a blink of an eye. There was no strong wind. There was no lightning or thunder. There were just some black clouds. Apart from being a little depressing, nothing else could be detected. The originally lively beach became even more lively because of the sudden appearance of the black clouds. Countless people began to scramble to escape from the beach. This level of black clouds might trigger a typhoon tsunami. If you run slowly, you might be hit by a wave and thrown into the ocean to feed sharks. At the same time, near the shallow sea, a shark fin pierced the sea surface like a dagger and slid quietly. The sudden appearance of the black cloud also attracted his attention. The shark stopped and emerged from the sea. That's right, this is a man with 2 dead fish eyes, and he is also the son of the plane in this world. Yi Yan, who is keen on performance art, HMM. The weather forecast says it will be sunny today, which will affect the performance artist's collection of folk songs. Yi Yan sighed. Since the weather has changed, he doesn't need to take risks, so he is ready to go ashore. He hasn't swam a few meters yet. The heavy black clouds in the sky dissipated little by little. In the blink of an eye, they disappeared without a trace, and there was no sign of the black clouds dispersing at all. I don't even know where it went. Just like it appeared, it was particularly exquisite. After the black clouds dissipated, the sky was bluer than before, with no clouds in the sky. However, it looked like the sun was gone. That's right. The sky now seemed to be covered by a display screen. This is the effect of this live broadcast. The 2 worlds are broadcasting simultaneously. Soon, after a crackling sound came from the display screen covering the sky, the picture became clear little by little, and the protagonist in the picture was Pingfan. At this moment, Pingfan was still standing on the top of Kingshan Mountain, pointing to the sky with one hand, looking a little bit arrogant. Fuck, he's more handsome than me, but his posture is more arrogant than mine. I'll kill him. A man with two horns on his head had wisps of white smoke coming out of his nose because of jealousy. This is nothing. Next to him, a little lolly who was no more than 1 meter tall was blinking her big eyes at the moment, looking at the male protagonist in the sky with a bit of fangirling. So handsome. Huh. Don't you think Yi Yan is the most handsome? Who is Yi Yan? Yi Yan, who had just returned to the shore, heard such a heart-wrenching sentence. Fuck, the shark has come ashore, the shark has become a spirit. Didn't they say that animals are not allowed to become spirits after the founding of the country? Shark. I'll kill him. Let me try. Obviously, this display screen covering the sky caused a sensation in this world. This is a bit unknown. Unknown things are scary. This is always a truth, no matter what world it is. Pingfan didn't care so much. Just cover it. It's just right that the live broadcast is more comfortable. The anchor is domineering. It feels like the anchor has stolen the limelight from the original son of the plane. They are the sons of the plane, and the anchor is the creator god of the plane, and they are all younger brothers. That's right, anchor. Come and welcome the evaluation props for this live broadcast. Blow up this world. Pingfan let out a long breath. He pointed to the sky again. Come on. The wind and clouds in the sky surged and soon formed a vortex just above Pingfan's finger. This scene is very cool, very cool. Then, the void cracked. A huge wormhole cracked open, and the wormhole was dark, deep and terrifying. At the same time as the wormhole cracked, Pingfan knew what props were needed for the evaluation of this live broadcast. At the same time as knowing it, his face became very ugly. This time, the props were a little uncomfortable. Then, he saw with his own eyes that a tower base slowly descended from the space crack. Chapter 184, Fighting Sheyante. Boom. With a loud noise, the towering tower also settled down. It landed steadily on the green hill. This is a tower with 10 floors including the top of the tower. The bottom floor has 11 huge sword pillars connected to the 7-star dragon pillars at the bottom of the tower. From the shape, this mysterious tower gives people a feeling of being extremely hard and invulnerable. What is this? The evaluation prop is a tower. This tower looks awesome. It must have a great background. Host, how do you introduce it? The tower body is full of black clouds. Although these dozen sword pillars and those 7-star dragon pillars look full of righteous power, this tower still gives people a gloomy feeling. This tower is made of diamond white jade and took more than 20 years to complete. With the help of countless monks and Taoists, this tower contains the power to shock demons. In addition, the tower itself contains great power of the 5 spirits, so it is extremely difficult for demons imprisoned in the tower to escape. Pingfan cleared his throat and pointed to the strange tower that had a black cloud lingering around the steps since it fell. Its name is the Demon Locking Tower. It was originally located in the forbidden area of Shushan's Ianjian sect and is a divine tower that imprisoned demons. Fuck, the Demon Locking Tower. The Demon Locking Tower in the world of Xianjian Kikshazuan. What's going on? Are you going to evaluate the Demon Locking Tower this time? Are you going to evaluate the tower itself, or the monsters in the tower? I heard that there are many powerful monsters imprisoned in this tower. The anchor is a little excited this time. Excited. Fortunately, I didn't conduct the evaluation in our world. Fortunately, I came to the world of Ace Yashi. There are many people who know how to exorcise demons. No. The props being evaluated this time are not the Demon Locking Tower, but the props are in the Demon Locking Tower. In the Demon Locking Tower, is it the Demon Sword? Or the Heavenly Demon King? There are many monsters and treasures in the Demon Locking Tower, and I also think the Demon Sword is more likely. I'm confused now. Why don't you just give the props to the props in the evaluation tower? Why build a tower? Is the anchor planning to enter the tower? Pingfan didn't rush to reply to the barrage, but looked up at the sky. Hello everyone, I'm the Wanji reviewer. This time I visited this world to evaluate a prop. Please don't panic. Pingfan greeted this world. They are based on a cultural background, so they should be able to understand. At the same time, the man on the coast was panicking. What kind of a shocking hand is this, which can cover the sky with extraordinary strength? Moreover, after research, it was found that this is not an illusion. Maybe it is an illusion, but the releaser is very powerful, and they can't find a way To block or disintegrate it, immediately seal off the surroundings of that mountain, and don't cause panic. Investigate this person and find out who he is. The demon locking tower. Is that tower called the demon locking tower? Could it be that there are countless demons in the tower? We must not let this tower have any problems. Hey, where is the demon king? Where are my 2 demon kings? Where did they go? It seems that they went to that mountain. The Night Department Shangshu is now very crazy. He didn't expect that the 2 Demon King ancestors lost control first when an unexpected situation just occurred. Yi Yan, why are you still standing there? Hurry up, find a way to stop the 2 Demon Kings for me, and don't cause any trouble. The tower cannot be moved. Intuition told Wang Shengli that the tower surrounded by black clouds was strange and mysterious, and he must not act rashly. Leave it to me, Shen Yangte, that waste, I will definitely beat him to death. A guy with orange hair and 2 bull horns on his head rushed towards Leaping Fan on the Green Mountain. He was wearing a black armor with a blood red cape. Wow, you don't take me seriously. Don't you know that I'm the only handsome man in the world? The one who came was the reincarnated Demon King Shen Yangte. His eyes were bloodshot, and the fire of jealousy was burning. Bang! With a strong physique, he jumped up suddenly. With his fists clenched, he smashed towards Leaping Fan. Today, I will definitely let you learn what it means to beat a perpetual motion machine. Shen Yangte jumped up and rushed straight to Leaping Fan. He was very strong. He knew he had no opponent. Demon King? Are you sure you are not a bull demon? With a sneer, Leaping Fan raised his fist and rushed over. The fist of the Messiah. Bang! When the 2 fists collided, a wave of air burst out, and the fierce wave of air splashed pieces of dust. Servant, you dare to attack my male god, do you want to die? While speaking, a petite figure emerged from the sky, and the next moment it landed on Shen Yangte's head, opened its huge mouth, and bit down fiercely. With a click. It was very cruel. Are you fucking sick? Can't you see that I'm fighting with this guy? Servant, you are sick. If you dare to hurt my male god, I will bite you to death. Isn't your male god Yi Yan? I don't know anyone with a surname Yi Bang. The 2 of them exchanged punches again, and then they all backed away. Little Lalita landed strongly. My boss Zisha is really ruthless, you know. Miss Zisha is different from Shen Yangte, the flower maniac. She has only been in love with Boss Yi Yan for so many years. This time, when she saw my reviewer father, she was instantly conquered. Could it be that the reviewer father has a beautiful face? Yes, this is the effect of the protagonist's halo. No matter how much Yi Yan is the protagonist, he is only from one plane of the world, but my reviewer can go through countless planes of the world. The suppression from the protagonist's halo is heartbreaking. Shen Yangte is so strong, the anchor should be careful. This guy is quite powerful. After all, he is a demon king. The perpetual motion machine is just his characteristic, not his ability, and he has many more trump cards. It's not easy to restrain him. He gets confused when he sees a girl. Shen Yangte, who retreated, raised his hand and pulled Zisha off his head, spitting on the ground at the same time, looking at Leaping Fan indifferently. Trash. I'll let you see the power of my corpse-crushing magic hand. In an instant, a blue flame emerged from Shen Yangte's right hand, flashing with extremely strong power. The ferocious Shen Yangte rushed towards Leaping Fan. After considering for a moment, Leaping Fan did not launch the fist of light. Comparing demons? After a sneer, Leaping Fan stepped on the ground with one foot and grabbed it with his left hand. The next moment, a white armor with red stripes and a single horn appeared on Leaping Fan's left arm. Especially on his left hand, there was a little scarlet between each finger. With a bang, dots of light surrounded the fingers, like lightning arcs. He clenched his fist, and waves of blue spiritual pressure entangled his fist. Boom. With a loud noise, the world was annihilated. Chapter 185, Trapped in a Dead Loop. Shen Yangte still couldn't withstand this attack. Of course, he didn't lose to this attack. Leaping Fan took 2 steps back. Most of the power from Shen Yangte was absorbed by the 10,000 dragon scale armor, but he bore most of the power of the demon's attack. Shen Yangte was still barely standing, and the void behind him was shaken into the shape of a skull, but it was blown away by the wind. At this time, Zisha felt the horror of Leaping Fan. Seeing that Shen Yangte was about to attack again, she strode over and stopped him. Servant, look carefully for me. That man's fist, that unicorn horn, do they look familiar? Zisha is not a flower maniac, not as sick as Shen Yangte. Shen Yangte calmed down. The power just now. It came from the demon world. Zisha said in a low voice. Moreover, it is a completely unfamiliar and very high level demon power. Bah, how come I have never heard of such a demon in the demon world? In the Demon King Unification War, Shen Yangte had almost no rivals. If there is a Demon King in the demon world, I'm afraid that only Shen Yangte and Zisha are familiar with it. But they have never seen this violent and powerful Demon King's power. What other tricks do you have? Come on. Li Pingfan arrogantly dispersed the demon's left arm and hooked his finger at Shen Yangte. Shen Yangte, who had just calmed down, was angered by Li Pingfan's extremely arrogant action again. You bastard, I will definitely kill you and cut you into pieces. I don't care what kind of demon power you have or where you come from. Get ready to die. Ground thorns to cut into pieces. With a roar, Shen Yangte exerted force violently. With him as the center, many ground spikes emerged from the ground, spreading out crazily. This move had killed the Red Blood Lord in seconds. Heh. Bang. Li Pingfan easily snapped his fingers. All the ground spikes that surged out were shattered. In front of the power of the tremor fruit, this earth-based spell was a bit weak. Is the ground spike dismembered? Come on, it's just right for you to help me evaluate it. After saying that, Li Pingfan stretched out his hand and pointed. Countless more ferocious ground spikes surged up from his feet and rushed towards Shen Yangte. Bang! How could Shen Yangte, who belonged to the Demon King, escape? He clenched his iron fist and punched forward, shattering these ground spikes. Stealing the king's magic. You can't beat me, and I don't plan to fight you, understand? Li Pingfan said coldly. The last person who dared to talk to the king like this has been torn into pieces. Shen Yangte jumped up again. Demon King Thousand Lie Wave. Shen Yangte's right hand burned with purple flames, and powerful spiritual energy began to pour into it crazily. Li Pingfan shook his head. He raised the Messiah fist high. The sun of this world should also belong to the Sunday. That's right. The sunlight began to gather in the fist. At the same time, he slightly used some amplification element. If this is a night, Li Pingfan's fist raised at this moment is a sun that can shine in all directions. The sunlight is getting more and more dazzling, and powerful energy is gathering and pouring in crazily. Fist of light. Boom. The dark purple Demon King Qian Libo was wrapped by this fist of light, and the sunlight completely engulfed Shen Yangte. This fist of light once defeated Chadu Tehu. But at that time, Li Pingfan's physical fitness was very weak. Now he can beat his former self with just one finger. The power of the fist of light is several times stronger than when he defeated Chadu Tehu. However, Shen Yangte is not Chadu Tehu. This fist of light did engulf the energy of the Demon King Qian Libo, but it does not mean that Shen Yangte can be easily defeated. He is a Demon King. He is also a perpetual motion machine among Demon Kings. The kind that becomes braver with each battle. Roar. Shen Yangte roared. His eyes turned red. At this moment, all his aura burst out. My king must kill you, a piece of trash. Shen Yangte. Just when Shen Yangte was about to go berserk, a fairy sword flew in the sky, and on the sword stepped a peerless beauty with black hair like a waterfall, wearing a red tights and a white embroidered cloud ancient costume robe. The woman had a gourd-shaped hair ornament pinned to her ear. She stepped on the flying sword. The voice was cold. This person is the son of another plane in this world. The Taoist authentic immortal cultivator, Huang Xiaoyan. Here she comes. Even better than my little Lali's sister. She is really a fairy. She is full of royal sister style. I want to sleep with her. You are probably dreaming. She looks cold. She is really the goddess in my mind. Goddess. After hearing that cold voice, Shen Yangte, who was about to go berserk, turned his head suddenly. His eyes, which were originally red like burning flames, turned into a heart shape in an instant. The whole Demon King gave people the appearance of a dog licker. Goddess, why are you here? Are you concerned about me? Don't worry about me. This kind of trash is not my opponent. Shen Yangte is now the incarnation of a crazy line. Huang Xiaoyan was speechless. Miss Zisha was also speechless. Li Pingfan was the same. Doglickers are everywhere, one stronger than the other. The Minister of Night Department has ordered you and Zisha to rush back to the beach to help deal with the two evil spirits. Okay. Shenyang Te obeyed Huang Xiaoyan's words. He didn't have any intention of resisting at all and nodded immediately. Hey, did you hear me? Follow me. Bah. Zisha spat. Humph, this vixen wants to order me around. Don't even think about it. Dreaming. Even if I die, I will never listen to this vixen. It is indeed the order of the Minister of Night. The twin demons are difficult to deal with and need stronger people to control them, so you go with that big fool. My male god. Zisha turned her head immediately after hearing the voice of another man. Point, didn't you just say that you don't know the man named Yi? Shenyang Te was speechless. He is a little scary, so he is not worthy of being my male god. Zisha glanced at Li Pingfan coldly. This man was full of unknowns and very scary. Humph. Servant, let's go quickly. My male god has spoken. Let's go to the beach. Bah. Dreaming. The dead fish eyes still want to order me around. I think you want to die. Shenyang Te sneered. Go quickly. Be careful that the twin demons will lose control in a while. Huang Xiaoyan was full of black lines. Okay. Bah. Dream on. This young lady will never listen to this woman's orders. Zisha turned her head away proudly. Fuck, what kind of vicious circle is this? A bunch of lunatics. Why don't you kill the anchors and leave my young lady Huang Xiaoyan? These two devils are really interesting. Wow, why does my young lady want to stick to that dead fish eyes? Anchor, beat him up hard, and then conquer the little lolly and the queen together, and take a hot spring bath. Isn't it nice? Shenyang Te is an info, a fool with muscles but no brains, and he wants to get his hands on my fairy. Bah. Chapter 186 Demon Sword. Finally, Shenyang Te and Zisha left here and returned to the beach under the orders of Huang Xiaoyan and Yuyan. Li Pingfan was indeed terrible, but there were two evil spirits on the beach, and it was difficult for the Gravikeepers to deal with them. In a blink of an eye, only Li Pingfan, the Night Watchman Yuyan and the immortal Huang Xiaoyan were left here. Are you a demon? Huang Xiaoyan did not rush to attack, but controlled the flying sword to fall and asked coldly. I just borrowed the venue to conduct a live evaluation. It won't affect you. Li Pingfan said. What's the point of talking? Catch him. It won't be difficult to say it when the time comes. Yuyan was about to take action, but was stopped by Huang Xiaoyan. Wait a minute. Huang Xiaoyan raised her jade-like arm and stopped Yuyan. At the same time, she took a few steps forward, looking at the tower. Are you going to unlock the seal of this tower? Huang Xiaoyan, who was a disciple of the Yuxu Peak branch, was originally an orthodox Taoist disciple. Naturally, he could feel the demonic energy in the Taoist and Buddhist arts in the demon locking tower. Li Pingfan did not emit demonic energy. There are only two possibilities. Either, he is not a demon at all, or, he is a demon with very terrible strength. When Li Pingfan and Shenyang Te fought before, only when he used the fist like a demon king, did a burst of demonic energy burst out. Apart from that, everything was normal. He even attracted the energy of the sun. In Taoism, the sun belongs to the righteous way, which can destroy all demons and evil spirits, and is the great unity. If it is a demon or a demon, how can it borrow the power of the sun's glory? So, Huang Xiaoyan was very curious. No. Li Pingfan shook his head. It's just to take out something in the tower. The great magical power in the sky. Is it you who did it? Huang Xiaoyan asked vigilantly. That's right. Can it be removed? Because these are easy to affect the originally peaceful world. Sorry, no. Li Pingfan is ready for the battle. Is it over after you take out what you want from this tower? That's right. Li Pingfan nodded. Okay, I think it shouldn't be a problem for us to watch here. Huang Xiaoyan chose to retreat again. They are facing a lot of enemies now, and Li Pingfan is quite powerful. Obviously, he had no intention to attack them, so there was no need to tear his face and add more enemies. Besides that, Huang Xiaoyan was very interested in the Taoist locking demon tower. It contained a wealth of Taoist magical powers, and it was a treasure even in Taoism. If Li Pingfan was really an evil cultivator or a demon, how could he hold such a treasure in his hands? The ability of the locking demon tower has surpassed Huang Xiaoyan's cognition. At least the sophistication of the Taoist art surpassed her master's school, Yuxu Peak. This is true. The locking demon tower came from the Shushan immortal sword sect. The Shushan sword sect and Yuxu Peak are definitely not at the same level. Yuxu Peak is just a scattered immortal, while the Shushan sword sect has really produced immortals. What's the fuss? The gap was immediately divided. Sister Huang Xiaoan is really gentle. Can the anchor push her down? Flirt with the girl. Flirt with the girl quickly. How can you miss this opportunity? What a pity. If I were the anchor, I would definitely go over and take a flirting step without recognizing any relatives. Thunderous clap. Merciless holler. Don't be scared. Anchor. Beat the dead fish eyes. Get both the queen and the lolly. Beautiful. Everyone, now let's start the formal evaluation. This evaluation task is the magic sword. Pingfan ignored Huang Xiaoan and Yihan who were watching on the side and officially started the live evaluation introduction. Wow, it's not my General Fipeng's demon suppressing sword. Bad review. What's wrong with the magic sword? It contains the soul of my goddess Lanki. Isn't it stronger than the demon suppressing sword? That makes sense. This is a living sword. Although it is made by manpower, it is rarely matched in the 6 realms. The devil sword is a weapon held by Jingshan, a male protagonist in the Chinese Paladin. It was forged by Lan Guiyang, the prince of Jiang state in his previous life, and was trained with the flesh and blood of Lanki, the princess of Jiang state. It is a living sword that can transform hatred, resentment, and fighting spirit into its own spiritual power. In the late Western Jin dynasty, the sword tomb of Jiang state was excavated. With the fall of Jiang state, the dusty devil sword reappeared in the world and fell into the hands of people in the world, causing a bloody storm in the martial arts world. Afterwards, the third generation leader of the Shushan Xianjian sect subdued the devil sword and sealed it on the top of the locking demon tower. However, the devil sword cannot be controlled by the tower. After accidentally leaving the tower again, it was taken to Buzhao Mountain by someone with ulterior motives. It was later found by Mireng Xiang and tried to purify it. Many years later, Mireng Xiang gave the devil sword to Jiao Sanren. Later, after Jiao Sanren held the Sanjian conference, he worshipped Shushan, and the devil sword returned to Shushan. Because it was more or less purified by Mireng Xiang, the devil sword can be left on the top of the locking demon tower. We are going to evaluate this magic sword that is both good and evil this time. Similarly, if you want to get the magic sword, you can only enter the demon locking tower and take it out of it. Fuck, going deep into the demon locking tower. Host, this demon locking tower is very dangerous. Yes, there are big boss level existences in it. The Heavenly Ghost Emperor, the Heavenly Demon Emperor, the Book Fairy, the Contemplative Ghost, the Jiang family father and daughter, the Ice Crystal Girl, and other demons. They are all very terrifying. Host, this evaluation task is dangerous. Similarly, this live broadcast caused a sensation in the world. People all over the world, as long as they look up, they can see the picture presented in the mirror in the sky. This situation is incredible and completely subverts imagination. Then, isn't that Yi Yan? How did he get there? And classmate Huang, what are they doing? Not only them, I also saw 2 other classmates, classmate She and classmate Zisha. The demon locking tower, are there monsters in it? This person is not going to release the monsters. I find it incredible, really incredible. Just as Pingfan finished speaking, Huang Xiaoan stepped over. You want to go deeper into this tower? Huang Xiaoan asked. Pingfan nodded. Yes. You plan to open this tower. Are there really evil spirits inside? I won't allow it. Huang Xiaoan could feel that in addition to the Taoist power emanating from this tower, there was also a surging demonic aura. No. Pingfan shook his head. I have a way to enter the tower. Then, can I go with you? Taoism emphasizes everything being left to fate. This time, being able to encounter this Taoist divine object is a great opportunity for Huang Xiaoyan. She doesn't want to miss this opportunity. So, she wants to go in and go into this tower to take a look. Together? Yes. Huang Xiaoyan nodded heavily, not as if she was joking. Okay then. Pingfan did not refuse. He knew Huang Xiaoyan's personality, and if they were together, she could also become his helper. Why not? I'll go too. Yu Yan was worried about Huang Xiaoyan and Li Pingfan entering this evil-filled tower alone. Okay. Chapter 187. Mighty. Everyone, the following live broadcast will be evaluated in the Demon Locking Tower. The Demon Locking Tower was transmitted from the void by the system. The system also told all the methods on how to enter the Demon Locking Tower. Next, I will cast a spell that can take us into this tower. When Li Pingfan walked to the side of the Demon Locking Tower, Huang Xiaoyan and Yu Yang followed him one after another. For Huang Xiaoyan, this tower must be a Taoist sacred object, and the Taoist meaning from the tower was far beyond what she had learned. Is there such a mysterious Taoist method in this world? This made Huang Xiaoyan curious, and made her feel that this was an opportunity. Buddhism emphasizes cause and effect. Taoism emphasizes opportunity. For Huang Xiaoyan, this is an opportunity that cannot be missed. Her intuition told her that there must be a Taoist secret in the Demon Locking Tower, and maybe she could understand something from it. Yu Yan was a little worried, and kept staring at Li Pingfan, always feeling that this matter was not that simple. Hey! Yu Yan shouted to Huang Xiaoyan. He walked to Li Pingfan with a pair of dead fish eyes, and stood in front of Huang Xiaoyan. Although I don't know who you are, or where you come from, if you want to have any conspiracy, you'd better think it through. Dead fish eyes shouted coldly. Li Pingfan shrugged. He didn't care. It didn't matter whether these two people went or not. As for Yu Yan, he really didn't care. Oh. After that, Li Pingfan snapped his fingers. Of course, there was no earthquake. There was no airquake or seaquake. Instead, it was storm blood red. A mecha nearly 100 meters high appeared on the other side of the hillside and walked towards the Demon Lock Tower. This is. Dead fish eyes were shocked. He didn't expect there was an armored machine here. Li Pingfan yawned. So, how do you want to weigh it? Storm Blood Red's mighty and domineering aura can hit people's hearts directly. It stands proudly on the top of the mountain. Are you from the demon world? Storm Blood Red's shock is indeed powerful. But Yu Yan is not a coward. He looked at Li Pingfan coldly and questioned him. Demon world? No. Li Pingfan shook his head and clenched his left arm, revealing the demon's left arm. Suddenly, with the appearance of this arm, there was more demonic energy in the air, belonging to the Demon King's horizontal training, which was very strong. This demonic energy is much stronger than when I was in contact with Shen Yangte and others. Yu Yang became alert. Huang Xiaoyan couldn't believe it either, and couldn't explain how a human could have such a strong demonic energy. Shen Yangte and others are demon kings themselves, and you just showed an arm, and the demonic energy you released far exceeded them, and you still said that you are not a demon. After saying that, Yu Yan was about to rush up to fight him, but he was stopped by Huang Xiaoyan. No, his demonic energy only comes from this arm. To be more precise, it is after these strange totems are attached to the arm. Is this an external force? That's right. Li Pingfan dispersed his arm, and he couldn't explain it. It was a brother named Tehu who exchanged power with me. Tehu? Is he also a demon king? Ah, you can say that he is not from your world. Ha ha, ha 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 ha. Yu Yang couldn't help laughing. You are really interesting. I always thought that I was crazy enough to be a performance artist. What are you, a daydreamer? Ha 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 ha. You said before that you are not from this world, which is funny enough. Daydreaming, you won't believe yourself too. Big brother Yu Yan finally admitted that he is a little crazy as a performance artist. However, big brother Yu Yan can hardly beat the reviewer dad. It's hard to say how long the reviewer dad has grown up, but based on his various means, he should have a better chance of winning. Don't waste time talking to them, just go into the tower. This time, the reviewer dad is going to conquer another world. Speaking of which, you were originally a human, but you have the Demon King's magic energy. Could it be that you are a mixed blood? Yu Yang muttered again. Li Pingfan didn't fight back. Instead, he raised his hand and pointed. Boom. The ground bulged instantly, and countless ground spikes stabbed towards Yu Yang. Do you need me to sew your mouth shut? Li Pingfan asked coldly. Yu Yang pursed his lips and dodged the ground spikes. Huang Xiaoyan's face was not good. To her, there was no magic in the spells cast by Li Pingfan. Of course, this trick can't be called a spell. It can manipulate the earth. It should be the earth element in the 5 element, and it is a very high earth attack method. Shut up. Huang Xiaoan scolded and walked in front of Yi Yan. You'd better calm down. He is very strong. TSK, he is not the only one who can cast ground spikes. The ground spikes of that stupid big guy have never hurt me. Yi Yan said disdainfully. Just now, I didn't feel any spiritual energy flowing in that move, as if it was controlled by his heart. His power is beyond your imagination. That's right. This is very scary for Huang Xiaoyan. Manipulating ground spikes is an earth spell, which is not uncommon in Taoism. But the problem is, when ordinary cultivators cast spells, they need to pinch their fingers and chant spells. Some cultivators with high cultivation may be able to skip this step, but the same goes for it. Regardless of whether it is necessary to pinch your fingers and chant spells, it must be controlled by spiritual energy. Here comes the problem. The ground spikes cast by Pingfan did not have any spiritual energy. It was completely controlled by a finger. Yi Yan is not stupid. After hearing Huang Xiaoan's explanation, he immediately understood the reason. As the saying goes, the great way is simple. Has this person reached the extraordinary realm? Senior, please don't mind. Huang Xiaoan walked in front of Pingfan again and apologized seriously. For cultivators, you can't tell anything just by looking at the appearance. In the world of immortal cultivation, keeping your youth is too common. Come if you want to. If you don't want to come, you can leave now. After Pingfan said this, Stormblood moved. Strong plasma burst out from his left arm, the arc jumped, and there were bursts of crackling sounds. At the same time, the temperature around was also rising rapidly. Boom. A shot was fired. Not far away, a huge rock weighing several thousand kilograms was shattered into powder, leaving a large pit several meters wide, and one person deep on the ground. With a voltage of tens of thousands of volts, even if Yi Yan was hit, he would be dead. Yi Yan was honest, no longer talking, and silently followed Huang Xiaoyan. If you can use your fists, you will never say too much nonsense. My reviewer dad is still domineering. I still can't forget the shock brought by 54,321. I should have blasted him long ago, and then monopolized the goddess Huang Xiaoyan. As the barrage continued to flow, 3 beams of light fell from the top of the tower, covering Pingfan, Huang Xiaoyan and Yi Yan respectively. The beams of light dissipated. The 3 people disappeared in the outside world. At the same time, the live broadcast room and the sky mirror covering this world changed. The scene shifted. Appeared in the demon locking tower. Chapter 188 The True Appearance of the Demonic Sword. After entering the demon locking tower, a gust of cool wind blew in their faces. They were now at the first floor of the tower. It was filled with terror, giving people a miserable feeling like hell. It is conceivable that the demon locking tower has sealed countless demons and evil spirits and stood proudly for hundreds of years, or even longer. In addition to demons and evil spirits, there are countless resentful spirits, and the yin energy is too common. Even though I have been cultivating immortals for many years, I have never seen such a terrible place. Huang Xiaoyan frowned. Yi Yan stopped talking nonsense and became calm. He even regretted that he should have stopped Huang Xiaoyan from coming in. At the same time, on a fairy mountain surrounded by fairy air, a few cranes flapped their wings and flew over from time to time. A child with white hair in a bull shape, who looked only 5 or 6 years old, looked worried at the mirror image in the sky. Behind her, there were 2 more people standing. One of them was a tall girl with an intellectual face, but when she saw Pingfan on the live broadcast screen, she could clearly see some peach blossoms in her eyes. Compared to her abnormality, the other girl with a black bun was even more abnormal. She gnashed her teeth, her eyes were full of murderous light, and she wished to cut the man in front of her into pieces, or even castrate him. Master. The 2 spoke at the same time. The little junior sister followed that mysterious man into the demon locking tower. In our world of immortal cultivation, has there ever been such a great magical power? Is there really a demon locking tower? The one they called Master was the 1.34 meter tall white-haired little Lalita. She looked solemn and shook her head slightly. Master, I have never heard of him. Master, do you recognize that man? Is he going to do something bad to the little junior sister? Do I need to go over and castrate him? The girl with black bun gnashed her teeth and took out a scimitar from somewhere. Pingfan, how can you be so irritable? You don't look like a girl at all. I say, why don't you send me over there? I'll go save my junior sister and bring you little granddaughter. The tall, model-like lady couldn't help but reveal a hint of lust. Mingyu, you're sick again. The so-called master. It was Huang Xiaowen's teacher. A true Lord level immortal on Yuxu Peak, and the only true Lord left in the Xianmen sect. This true Lord is very likely to have lived in the Republic of China era, which means he has a lifespan of at least 100 years. Or even more. But now she looks like a little lolly. Mingyu, didn't I tell you? Even if you have a baby, it's better to have a boy. The ratio on our mountain is too unbalanced. The master sighed. Master, the problem is not whether to have a boy or a girl. The problem is that my junior sister is not safe now. She is with 2 men. I want to go and save her. Compared with Mingyu's abnormality, Pingfan is even more abnormal. She would have a seizure from time to time. When she saw a man, she would want to kill him or castrate him. Master. Mingyu, who had been thinking about having a baby in the past, lost her hungry expression and returned to a calm face, showing her intelligence. Can you predict the future and see what impact this will have on my junior sister? Their master. That is, Master Mo shook his head. I have tried several times, but all ended in failure. But one thing is certain. Master Mo has the ability to predict what will happen in the short future. So, when the mirror image appeared in the sky, she had already tried to predict the future, but failed. Later, when Huang Xiaowen contacted the 10,000 Worlds evaluator and expressed her intention to go to the demon locking tower with him, she used her ability to predict the future again. Failed again. He may not really be from our world. What? Pingfan and Mingyu were shocked at the same time. If even their master was powerless, then wouldn't this matter be troublesome? Not only him, but even the so-called demon locking tower is beyond the control of the master. I think maybe it really comes from another world. It should be a world where immortals are always present, and even the development of Taoism is more extensive than our world. The person who created this demon locking tower, or guarded the demon locking tower, must be a great immortal. Mo Yun's engine sighed. Indeed. When it comes to cultivating immortals, she is no match for the head of Shushan. Master, why don't I go? The situation of the little junior sister is a bit difficult. Moreover, there are 2 unstable demon kings. The Gravikeeper alone cannot suppress them. Mingyu stepped forward with an indifferent face. Are you normal? Master, don't worry, Mingyu knows what is important. But, now is not the time for you to appear. It will disrupt the arrangement of the heaven. Master, do you think this person is in the ranks of the heaven? His appearance has already disrupted the arrangement, and there is no way to proceed step by step. Mingyu said seriously. Mingyu's words made Master Moyan nod his head. What you said makes sense. If that's the case, then go quickly, but remember, you must hide your identity and only take action when you have no choice. Yes, Master. After clasping his fists, Mingyu threw out the immortal sword, stepped on the sword with 1 foot, and left. Master, I want to go too. I want to save my junior sister. You stay here. I told you not to read the Barren Woman Heart Sutra, but you didn't listen. You want to castrate men when you see them. From now on, you should be a barren woman in the mountains. Mingyu, who left Yuxu Peak, suddenly showed a smile at the corner of her mouth. It was a smile of spring. Fortunately, she was smart and learned to be patient and successfully deceived her master. Inside the demon locking tower, the 3 people who had just entered the tower had no time to make any moves. With a whoosh, a strange deep blue light shuttled from the tower. In a blink of an eye, it stopped in front of several people. The light was wrapped in a sharp sword. Take a closer look. This is a purple sword with strange runes engraved on the sword. Is this a demon? Or a treasure? Yu Yan asked in astonishment. Huang Xiaowen's face suddenly became solemn, and she drew out the long sword. This is an evil thing, full of evil demon resentment, and it is sealed in the demon locking tower. How can it be a good thing? Just when Huang Xiaowen was about to take action, Pingfan stretched out his hand and grasped the hilt of the sword. Suddenly, the light was bright. The dazzling purple light covered the entire demon locking tower in an instant, and some of the purple light even spewed out of the tower, appearing extremely violent. At the same time as holding it, Pingfan felt a sense of telepathy, as if this sword was himself. Everyone, this is the prop for this live review, the magic sword. As soon as the voice fell, the sword rang. Countless sword ki vibrated out. The resentful spirits rushing over from the bottom of the tower were swallowed up by these sword ki in an instant, crushed, and turned into nothingness. Chapter 189, Tower Charge. The props provided by the system have one advantage. The advantage is that no matter where this prop comes from or what background it has, when it falls into the hands of the evaluator, it will be unconditionally loyal to the evaluator, as if the evaluator is its original and only owner. This has been verified in Jarvis and Friday. These two intelligence systems from Iron Armor were created by Tony Stark. Logically, they will only be loyal to Tony. But now, don't they recognize Pingfan as its owner? It's a very simple reason. These two systems also know the world they originally belonged to. They know the background of their world, but they keep silent about the original owner Tony. Now, this magic sword is made of Long Kui's flesh and blood soul, and her soul has become a sword spirit. According to the setting, this magic sword can only be used by Jinxian, except for the Great Master who can suppress the magic sword. But now, because it is provided by the system, the magic sword also recognizes Pingfan as its owner. The powerful sword energy that burst out became a gust of wind. The violent storm wiped out all the demons on the first floor of the demon suppression tower in a blink of an eye. It can be said that not a single one was left. Very strong. Very scary. The entire first floor of the demon suppression tower was completely shrouded in a dark purple light. Endless. Very scary. Soon, the dark purple light returned to the sword. Everything is done. Huang Xiaoyan was stunned. She held her own sword and looked at Pingfan with a slightly dull look. The most important thing was to look at the long sword in Pingfan's hand. This sword with a strange shape and strange inscriptions actually burst out with such endless energy. This is the power of the magic sword. Pingfan did not care about Huang Xiaoyan's opinion, but began to review and introduce it to the video recorder. In the parallel world of Xianjian, there is a very classic national war, which is called the Change of the Heavenly Sword. Why is it called this? I think everyone should know that the Heavenly Sword naturally refers to the long sword in my hand, the magic sword. Whether you have played the game or watched TV, I think everyone should know why the magic sword was forged. Because the Jiang Kingdom was attacked by the Yang Kingdom and faced the difficulty of national destruction, it had to open the secret scroll and wanted to forge the magic sword. The reason why it is called the secret scroll is because the magic sword is too evil. The sword itself does not distinguish between good and evil, it mainly depends on the user. But unfortunately, the country has not been forged yet, and the country has been destroyed. Prince Lang Yang died in the battle. Princess Lang Qi threw herself into the sword pool, forged the sword with her body, infused it with blood, and used her spirit as her body. In addition to the first time, the soldiers of the Yang Kingdom also threw many guards in the Jiang Kingdom's palace into the sword casting pool and burned them. This created a great resentment, which made the magic sword Xiancheng. The magic sword broke away from the red lotus in the sword casting pool, and with its own powerful spiritual power, it turned the area within 100 miles into ruins. The national strength of the Yang Kingdom suffered a severe blow, and the country was destroyed soon after. This is the change of the heavenly sword. It is also the specific origin of the magic sword. Pingfan's words were sonorous and powerful. Huang Xiaoyan, who originally regarded this evil sword as a vicious object, was speechless for a moment. Not only her, Mo Yun Zhenjin, who was far away in Yuxu Peak, was even more trembling. Magic sword, is this the magic sword that was born in nature? Master, do you know this thing? I don't know. Mo Yun Zhenjin sighed. Although the sword is full of evil, it may have a very pure sword spirit. The achievement of this sword may not be inferior to the ancient sword in the hands of your junior sister. No way. Master, my junior sister is holding the ancient Xuexin sword, but she is not as good as this magic sword. Swords are not divided into high and low. The sword wielder is mighty. Even a bamboo stick can break the void. Mo Yun Zhenjin shook his head. This person is interesting, and this tower is also interesting. After that, Mo Yun's engine fell into deep thought. She is just a scattered immortal. Although she is called a true lord, she is just a scattered immortal. I always feel that there are great secrets behind this person. Maybe it will even promote the immortal cultivation rules of this world. In the locking demon tower, the sword in Huang Xiaoyan's hand suddenly made a series of clear sounds. In addition to the pure sword sound, a series of dazzling yellow light burst out. The light was bright. At the same time, the originally silent magic sword also shook, and the purple light and the light of the ancient sword of Xuxin shone against each other. It was like being summoned. The connection between the sword bodies. Huang Xiaoyan murmured, and at the same time, she saluted Li Pingfan with the sword in her arms. Of course, she was not saluting Li Pingfan, but to the magic sword. I'm sorry, I thought you were an evil creature before. After saying that, she stood up and said, Senior, the evil spirits are overwhelming here. Do we still want to continue? Senior? Yu Yang pouted. Oh, not really. It was that sword that just killed those evil spirits. The sword itself is an innate treasure. I'm afraid anyone holding it can burst out with divine power. Really? Li Pingfan smiled and threw the magic sword casually. Then you try it. Let me try. Yu Yan snorted and reached out to grab the magic sword thrown over. He was thinking about sword moves in his mind. His hand just touched the hilt. He was going to dance an extremely graceful and unrestrained sword flower. With a bang, he staggered and almost fell to the ground. The long sword was heavy. It was heavier than he could imagine. But when Li Pingfan held it in his hand just now, he was clearly able to play with it easily. The magic sword has a spirit. Although this sword is called a magic sword, it actually contains a very strong spiritual energy. Huang Xiaoyan explained. Li Pingfan raised his hand, and the magic sword broke free from Yu Yan's hand, turned in the air, and fell lightly into Li Pingfan's hand. This is the magic sword. I miss my sister Long Kui. I really want to see Long Kui. Can the anchor summon her out? Suddenly I feel that my sister Huang has fallen out of favor. I can't help it. Long Kui is so cute, so lovely. Do you want to continue the evaluation? The task is for Li Pingfan to get the magic sword in the demon locking tower and complete the evaluation. I guess at least he has to go through a circle. You too. It will be more dangerous if you go further. Li Pingfan warned. There are many demons in the demon locking tower. These resentful spirits on the first floor are just the lowest level. The higher you go, the more you will really come into contact with terrifying evil things. I'm willing to follow the senior. TSK. Yu Yan was very unhappy. She Yangte, the demon king, was very pretentious, and now there is another pretentious one. How could he lose the limelight? Just go. Who's afraid of who? On the second floor, everything went smoothly. Some of the small demons didn't even need Li Pingfan to take action, and Yu Yan, who was eager to show off, easily swept them away. That's nothing. Yu Yan snorted after finishing the third floor. Effortless. In fact, this is just the beginning. The few people just stepped into the fourth floor. The air has changed. It has become more and more cold. Such a cold breath is like the sword intent. It's the sword intent. Huang Xiaoyan exclaimed. At the same time, a roar came from the depths of the locking demon tower. Everyone is going to die. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 190 Sword Soldier Anking. The roar fell. In the blink of an eye, a man with a shining body, disheveled hair, wearing a white Taoist robe, and holding a long sword rushed out. This man is so strong. This should be an evil spirit. It can burst out such a terrifying sword energy. Yu Yang became serious. No. Huang Xiaoyan shook her head. This is not sword energy. This is sword intention. Intention and energy. There is a fundamental difference. If a cultivator immerses himself in his mind, it is possible to cultivate sword energy. But sword intention, unless you are gifted or have a chance, it is difficult to cultivate it. The surging sword intention is the sword of regret. Several people hid at the entrance and did not rush out. Huang Xiaoan was originally the sword immortal in the eyes of the world, so she had a deep understanding of the sword. Every burst of sword intention is very fierce, so fierce that it can even kill everything. But if you look closely, these sword intentions are a little tender. Huang Xiaoan said as she pretended to take a step out. Hey, Sister Huang, what do you want to do? Huang Xiaoan ignored Yi Yan. At the same time, a sharp sword energy slashed towards her. Sister Huang. Yi Yan cried out in worry. Huang Xiaoan raised a green jade finger and gently tapped on the sword intent. Bang! The sword intent shattered like a piece of glass. His sword is very messy. Li Pingfan also walked out. The barrage was swiping even more frantically. Infatuated sword soul, brother Jiangking. A male god level figure, he represents a belief, an extraordinary belief. Jiangking. Another sword cultivation genius in Shushan, but he abandoned the secular world and got together with a fox demon and finally ended up with a tragic end. Alas Anchor, please save Jiangking. Roar. The person who came was Jiangking. He was angry. He kept swinging his long sword. Any demons that broke into this level died under the sword. No. Li Pingfan shook his head. He knew that Jiangking was trapped in the demon locking tower, and because his heart knot could not be resolved, he had never been saved. However, according to the plot, he should have been in a secret room, and was not going to have such a crazy attack. Jiangking. Li Pingfan shouted, while holding the magic sword, and walked out at the same time. Jiangming, who was extremely crazy, could not listen to these words, and yelled like crazy. Endless sword intent turned into vibrating sword energy and rushed over. After the magic sword felt the threat, a layer of dark purple light surged out, and the two sword intents competed with each other. Of course, this sword intent did not come from Li Pingfan. It was the intention of the sword spirit of the magic sword itself, Long Kui. Perhaps, for Long Kui at this time, Li Pingfan was her brother who she regarded as a treasure. After thousands of years, how could she bear to let her brother be hurt? Kill me, kill me. Jiangking became more and more crazy. The sword energy was rampant. Bang bang. Huang Xiaoyan, holding the Xuexin sword, swung it twice, and two sword energies swept out like a crescent moon. This is Huang Xiaoyan's ability. The sword energy was released, and the true essence was injected into the ancient Xuexin sword, thereby activating it. However, compared with the spirit sword spirit Jiangming, these sword energies are a bit dwarfed. Killing you. Can you get back your fellow disciples? Killing you. Can you get back the fox demon? Killing you. Can you give your daughter a brand new childhood? Li Pingfan shouted angrily. He walked up with a sword. The lavender sword energy wrapped around his body. This ensured that the infinite sword intent bursting out of Jiangking could not interfere at all. 3 steps. Li Pingfan walked in front of Huang Xiaoyan and Yi Yan. At this moment, he was like a sword fairy covered in sword energy. Wow, so handsome, so handsome. Damn, my reviewer dad's posture is too invincible. It's just that I can't see his face clearly. If he has a stunning and extremely charming face, then the anchor dad is definitely a banished immortal, the immortal in the painting, the sword fairy who walked out of the painting. I'm afraid it's not an exaggeration, the experience during this period. No, the experience during this period. It enriched Li Pingfan, making him exude an indescribable temperament, extraordinary and otherworldly. Li Pingfan himself is handsome, and now with this temperament, his face is even more peerless. He is really like a sword fairy. I'm a man, I swear, I'm jealous. If the host plays a fairy Zard drama, he doesn't need special effects at all. He is one himself, no matter how you say it, he can definitely surpass many ancient costume princes. This is nonsense. Others are trying their best to play fairies and heroes. But the host is now for fairies and heroes. This time it is really tailor-made. I love it. I originally felt that the host could not go to the Wuhan continent. I was a little heartbroken and felt very sorry. But now, I don't regret it at all. The host is so handsome. He and Huang Xiaoyan, Sister Huang, are a perfect match. Li Pingfan's voice shocked Jiangking away. I can't fly a sword, and you can't be a human being. Li Pingfan's words were heart-wrenching. Perhaps, you live in a sad era, and the secular world oppresses you, but this is not an excuse for you to give up on yourself. Killing your fellow disciples may be what they deserve. You always have to make a choice, but sometimes you have to pay the price for your choice. Once you enter Shushan, you must abide by the rules of the sect. Some things should be given up. They have nothing to do with you. Love should have been cut off long ago, not to mention the demons and evil spirits. You, who are you? Just a bystander. Lee Pingfan's tone was indifferent. His eyes were calm. Maybe you think I'm stupid. If it weren't for you, if it were someone else, someone who was not bound by any constraints, I would never say this. For you, you should have given up long ago. You think your life is sad, but do you know your junior Lee Xiaoyao, or your senior Zhu Changqing? Which one has not suffered as much as you have experienced? Li Xiaoyao's wife, Xiaolinga, the descendant of Nuwa, gave up not only happiness, but also her life for the people of the world. Zhu Changqing and Zizuan, the descendant of Nuwa, have been in love for 3 lifetimes, but they ended up drinking the water of forgetfulness from each other. Are you pathetic? Yu Yan was confused. What was Li Pingfan going to do? This was a crazy sword spirit, a powerful person. To irritate him like this now, wouldn't that be courting death? Come on. Li Pingfan was not polite and held his sword horizontally. I'll tell you another answer now. You are not as good as me in flying a sword, and you are not as good as me in being a person. Li Pingfan gave an order. The purple light on the magic sword door merged into his body, with the center of his eyebrows as the point, and in an instant he became mysterious. Cut with sword energy. Jiangqing turned his hand into a sword, and pointed it at the sky. A huge sword energy kept circling, and in an instant it seemed as if a sword energy that could split a mountain appeared. Break the sword with your mind. Boom. A purple blade burst out from the magic sword. The light dissipated. The entire 4th floor of the demon locking tower was reduced to ruins, and all the buildings were swept away. The sword energy surged, even reaching outside the tower, withering any vegetation within 100 meters of the demon suppression tower. Finally, it was annihilated. Chapter 191. The Lun family will follow your will today. It's called the Demon Sword, and it was once sealed at the top of the tower. Jiangqing was defeated. His powerful attack was easily resolved by Li Pingfan. Li Pingfan stood steadily in place. Although there were 2 deep sword grooves around him, his clothes were not damaged at all. I know you will say that I can defeat you because of the Demon Sword. Li Pingfan smiled. The Demon Sword has a spirit. The Demon Sword has a spirit, but the spirit is not born from heaven and earth. She is a person with brothers and relatives. She was once a princess of a country, but the country was broken and could not bear it. At the critical moment, she forged the sword with her body. Has she ever told anyone about this? Li Pingfan smiled and shook his head. You are too obsessed after all. You harmed the fox demon, your fellow disciples, and your daughter. As for yourself, I can say that you asked for trouble. Disasters always have a beginning and an end. The starting point is Jiangqing. The end point is Li Pingfan. Am I really obsessed? Jiangming was silent, and his eyes became dim. At the same time, a girl with black hair like a waterfall floated over. Thank you, benefactor. When the girl appeared, she bowed deeply to Li Pingfan. Huang Xiaoyan, who was standing by, was shocked. She didn't expect that Li Pingfan could settle everything with a deep speech. No need to thank me. You should have never seen your father King Ming in these years. In this case, let's have a good chat. We still have to go up. An extraordinary performance. Anchor, you must be a diehard fan of the fairy sword. You are more powerful than the performance of Leoli back then. It's over. As soon as the voice fell, the whole tower suddenly shook. At the same time, a roar was heard. Goddess, did that bastard coerce you? You idiot with dead fish eyes can't even protect my goddess. That's right. The one who made the sound was the Demon King from the demon world. She Yangte. He originally went to the beach to assist the Gravekeeper and deal with the affairs of the 2 evil spirits. Unexpectedly, as soon as he fought with the 2 evil spirits, he immediately saw the mirror image in the sky. In the mirror image, Huang Xiaoyan was enveloped by a beam of light and disappeared the next moment. When she reappeared, she was already in the terrifying demon locking tower. Even though Shen Yangte came from the demon realm and had an infinite lifespan, he had never felt such an evil tower. Since he had not paid attention to the images in the sky before, he did not know the specific situation. After reacting, Xianyangte rushed over, jumped onto the top of the tower, and continued to attack. This is the perpetual motion machine, the legendary human-powered perpetual motion machine. Boom. With a loud noise, it seemed as if a big hole had cracked on the top of the tower. No. To be more precise, a big hole had really cracked. Because Pingfan and the others were now on the 4th floor, they all felt a fierce gale. It's broken. Then, following the gale, Pingfan heard Xianyangte's roar. Goddess. This madman. Pingfan could not care about Huang Xiaoan and Yiyan. Hurry up, that madman from the demon realm may have destroyed the demon locking tower. If some evil spirits rush out from inside, the whole world will fall. Pingfan's words were not meant to be alarmist. It was reasonable for Xianyangte to break the demon locking tower. After all, the demon lord went to the demon locking tower to find the demon suppressing sword for Jingshan, and then broke a hole in the demon locking tower, releasing countless demons. A useless person who is more likely to cause trouble than to accomplish anything. He eats more than anyone else, but is less reliable than anyone else in doing things. Yiyan also cursed and rushed over immediately. Several people quickly reached the 5th floor. The place where the demon locking tower was destroyed was the 5th floor. However, Xianyangte had collapsed on the ground at this moment. He only had 1/10 of the strength of his previous life. There were some terrible monsters in the demon locking tower, and it was still easy to deal with him. You idiot. Pingfan looked at the gap that was more than one person high, and his face turned cold. Because at this moment, countless demons were rushing out. Destroy. The long sword swept across. The sword energy vibrated, and in an instant, some demons were killed. The demon locking tower is made of diamond white jade. How can we repair it now? Yiyan and Huang Xiaoan also joined the battle to prevent those crazy demons from rushing out. They were like monsters that hadn't eaten for years. How could they not go crazy when they suddenly saw food? This was a chance for freedom. If they escaped, they might be free. If they were sealed, they would never be able to leave. Wanna guard the demon locking tower with me? We must not let the monsters out. Jiangking also rushed up from the 4th floor. He was originally a disciple of Shushan, but he entered a state of madness due to some circumstances. Now that he was awakened by Pingfan, he naturally had to take on the responsibilities on his shoulders. Guarding the demon locking tower was one of them. Master, you can send some people out to kill the monsters that escaped. I'll guard here for you, and you go do another thing. Jiangking scolded. The sword energy on his body kept bursting out like a machine gun at full fire, forming a line of defense to guard the gap. Speak. The demon suppressing sword. Jianking's expression was solemn. The demon suppressing sword of General Fei Peng of the Heaven Realm. The demon suppressing sword is a divine object of the world, which can suppress all demons and evil spirits. It is rumored that the demon suppressing sword is at the bottom of the tower. You can go and look for it. If you can find it, you may be able to plug this hole. Understood. Pingfan nodded. You too. I hope you can help solve the demons and evil spirits that escaped from the outside world. I'll go with you. Huang Xiaoan said, then looked at Yiyan. You go contact the night department, contact the Grava Keepers, and use all your strength to seal these demons and evil spirits. You must not let them cause trouble to the world. But, Yiyan was silent. He was still a little worried about Huang Xiaoan. Don't worry, there are countless demons and evil spirits in the demon locking tower. I will stay here to help Senior Jiangming. You must stay alive. And you too. Huang Xiaoan's side face was slightly red, but she quickly turned around, swung her long sword, and started to fight. Yiyan gritted his teeth and jumped out of the gap, as if facing a great enemy. On the beach, after the two evil spirits worked together to knock down a guy with narrowed eyes and shark-like teeth, they smiled. It will be soon. Including him, we only need one more person's blood, and we will be done, and can be completely integrated. That's right. The Grava Keeper was injured before, and his injuries have not yet healed. He was dispatched temporarily. Otherwise, he would not be easily knocked down by these two guys. Just as they were talking, the two were about to attack the Grava Keeper when a stream of light suddenly flew in from a distance. Here they come. Someone else is coming. Let me go. I'll seduce him. It's safer this way. As she said that, a red-haired woman walked towards the direction where the stream of light fell. After the stream of light dissipated, a big man appeared in front of him. The man was wearing silver armor, had long dark yellow hair, flashing eyes, and thick eyebrows like ink. Little brother, judging from your face, you may be very angry. How about the Lun family help you absorb it? Angry? How to absorb it? Where to absorb it? Where you say, the Lun family will do whatever you want today. Chapter 192 Tower Destruction. The charming woman flicked her long red hair behind her with her slender hands, revealing a crescent-shaped pattern on her slender neck. She walked slowly towards the newcomer with an elegant step. Her every frown and smile showed her charm. Do you want to help me absorb my anger? The newcomer's voice was a bit rough, and under his thick eyebrows were a pair of eyes with deep thoughts. Of course, I like people like you who are domineering. As she said that, the woman fell towards the thick-browed man, her body very delicate. The man reached out and hugged the woman in his arms. His eyes became playful. You are bad. You hurt me. The woman nodded shyly and punched the man's chest with her pink fist. But after a few hits, the woman realized that something was wrong. With a turn of her eyes, she showed a charming smile. Lie down. Just lie on the beach. How about I accompany you to have an exciting game? How exciting? As exciting as you want. As she said that, the woman, oh no, Yu Washang's cherry red lips, probed towards the big man's mouth. Although she smelled some strange smell when she approached just now, which made Yu Washang frown, she still insisted. She felt that this person was not that simple, and was definitely not an ordinary cultivator. There might be a very powerful and terrifying true essence and spiritual pressure in his body. To be on the safe side, she decided to steal this man's heart. Of course, the meaning of stealing the heart is not to make him fall in love with her, but to really steal the heart from the big man's body. Just when the woman's mouth just approached, a finger blocked her tempting red lips. You, what are you doing? The woman asked in astonishment. The finger was stretched out by the big man. Fuck. With a bang, the big man used his fingers to force Yu Washang to the ground, smashing out a sand pit several meters deep. Little thing, you are too young to seduce this emperor. The man stood at the edge of the pit with his hands on his hips. When this emperor dominated the demon world, you little thing might not have been born yet. Yu Washang's body was soft in the sand pit, and her eyes stared at the man fiercely. She was actually discovered. But, so what? Yu Washang is the top of the male and female evil spirits. The top can cut gold and jade, and overturn mountains and seas. She rushed up suddenly, and her indestructible hand stabbed the man. However, she was easily pinched by the big man, and thrown casually, and thrown hundreds of meters away. It hit several sand pits on the ground before stopping. It seems that I, the Heavenly Demon Emperor, have good luck. I just came out of the demon locking tower, and encountered a food that was delivered to my door. This person. It is the Heavenly Demon Emperor, the Emperor of all demons who escaped from the gap in the demon locking tower broken by Shen Yangte. His level is completely incomparable to the male and female evil spirits. These two guys actually set their sights on the Heavenly Demon Emperor. Perhaps it is the only mistake in their lives. Of course, this only mistake happened to be fatal. You are looking for death. The double evil guard Yu Wu roared and rushed over. The idea was too hard. Yu Washang could not deal with it alone. The last person who wanted me to die could only rely on the artifact to seal me in the tower. How can you let me die? The Heavenly Demon Emperor sneered, raised his hand and slapped it, and Yu Wu fell to the ground with serious injuries. Even though his limbs can be regenerated, the injuries in his body are incalculable. Since someone wants to seal you in the tower, how about going back obediently? At this time, Yu Yan's voice came from behind the Heavenly Demon Emperor. Little thing, I saw you when I left the tower. The power in you is very unique. Isn't it good to live? This is not your world. It's not your turn to run wild. After the words fell, a fairy sword flew across the sky. On the fairy sword stood a graceful woman. Flying a sword? Shushan? No. When has Shushan ever recruited female disciples? The Heavenly Demon Emperor frowned, and was obviously a little angry after Mingyu, who came on a sword, arrived. Inside the demon locking tower, Jiang King and Jiang Wana guarded the gap to resist the evil demons who wanted to rush out. Jiang King was quite powerful. When he was alive, he was possessed by the devil and killed many people in the demon locking tower. In addition, he is now practicing in the form of a resentful spirit, and his body has accumulated a lot of resentment. His strength can be seen. Jiang Wana is a combination of a human and a demon. She has condensed the strength of her mother. She has lived with her father in the demon locking tower for many years, so it is easy for her to deal with some villains. Miss Huang, go help the Taoist priest. The two of us are enough to defend here, Jiang King said. But the demon suppressing sword was originally inserted into the body of a heavenly demon emperor. With the demon suppressing sword, even if the gate of the demon locking tower is opened, the heavenly demon emperor will find it difficult to escape. The current situation is a little wrong. I suspect that someone helped the heavenly demon emperor to pull out the demon suppressing sword. In other words, Senior may be in danger, Huang Xiaoan asked. Yes. But, okay, don't worry about us. I, Jiang Ming, am a disciple of Shushan. It is my duty to guard the demon locking tower. I have been obsessed with it for many years. Now it is my turn to atone for my sins. Jiang King roared, and infinite light burst out from his body. The light gathered into sharp swords, stabbing out like a hail of bullets. It can be said that one man can block the pass and 10,000 men cannot open it. Li Pingfan, after leaving the 5th floor of the tower, rushed to the bottom of the tower. Although Jiang King is powerful, he can't stay there all the time. The only solution is the demon suppressing sword. The demon suppressing sword, the sword of illuminating the gallbladder, was made by the Emperor Fuxi. It was made of the soul of the illuminating gallbladder spring and the iron of the meteorite. It feels more powerful than the magic sword. Now that you are here, you have the chance to get the demon suppressing sword. Do you want to refine the sword? Fuse the sword of illuminating gallbladder and the demon sword into one. Boss, someone needs to sacrifice his body to melt the sword and recast it. Who do you think is suitable? TSK. Host, be careful. There are countless demons in the demon locking tower. Most of what you have is technological capabilities. I don't know if technological means are effective against these demons. Demons may be effective, but many things are in the form of spirits. To a certain extent, spirits are a kind of energy. I think technological weapons must be ineffective against those spirits. The live broadcast screen changed as Li Pingfan moved. Soon, Li Pingfan, who rushed to the 2nd floor, saw a puppy running in the distance. The puppy looked very docile, only a few dozen centimeters long, and harmless to some people and animals. Dog? How can there be such a dog in the demon locking tower? Li Pingfan was not fooled by the appearance of this thing. He swung the magic sword and slashed out with a sword. Sure enough, the seemingly harmless dog swallowed the sword energy in one gulp, and its body suddenly grew larger. The soles of its forefeet were still burning with flames. Its mouth was full of fangs and saliva, and its eyes were flashing red light like lanterns. Roar. Is this a hellhound? As the hellhound's true form was revealed, endless evil spirits rushed out crazily, like a ghost army clearing the way, rushing towards Li Pingfan. Million spirit talisman formation. Then, a cold voice sounded from behind Li Pingfan. Chapter 193 Sister Huang, do you want to get pregnant? One by one, the talismans danced like butterflies. They flashed with spiritual light and rushed towards the hellhound that was much taller and stronger than an elephant. Soon, many spiritual chains were entangled between each talisman, wrapping the hellhound. The person who came was Huang Xiaoyan. She held the sword behind her back with one hand and put the sword finger of the other hand to her mouth. She opened her thin lips and said, "Explode." A cold shout. Boom. Countless talismans exploded instantly, generating a terrifying energy, destroying all the evil spirits that wanted to rush over. Why are you here? Li Pingfan turned his head and looked at Huang Xiaoyan and asked. Senior Jiang Ming asked me to help you. Huang Xiaoyan answered truthfully. Oh, men and women are starting to pair up, and we are finally going to have a sweet love. Jealousy makes me split apart. Scumbag, are you going to abandon your wife and children when you see a woman with long legs and big breasts? I have given birth to your baby several times. Anchor, this world has so many wonderful abilities, why don't you want them to get pregnant? It's so interesting to have a baby. The flashing barrage made Li Pingfan's heart surge with evil fire. Sister Huang HMM. Huang Xiaoyan looked at Li Pingfan in confusion. Sister Huang, only Yi Yan, the dead fish-eyed one, would call her that, and how could she be older? Why did he have to call her sister? Thinking of this, Huang Xiaoyan couldn't help but look down. Unexpectedly, she couldn't even see her feet, and her side face suddenly turned red. This can't be blamed on her. The nutrients are absorbed well. There is no way. Do you want to get pregnant? What? Huang Xiaoyan's face turned even redder. How could this idiot, this bastard, be more direct than Shen Yangte, the flower maniac? Moreover, where are they now? How could they have the heart to think about such a thing? If you don't want to get pregnant, remember to close your eyes. Li Pingfan took out a pair of glasses from his arms, and took out 2 films from somewhere, and carefully attached them to the lenses. The glasses are mosaic glasses, which are somewhat magical, making people unable to help but look at them twice. The power of the million spirit talisman array is indeed very strong. But the strength of this hellhound is not bad. This attack mainly cleared most of the evil spirits, and the injury to the hellhound was not serious. It's about to start. It's about to start. The pregnant woman is going to show off. But, it's not appropriate to attack Sister Huang now. I think so too. At least find a place where there are no people. Poor my innocent and cute Sister Huang. She doesn't know anything yet, and she is about to be maliciously pregnant coincidentally. Li Pingfan is not going to deal with Huang Xiaoyan. Even if he covets the wonderful Taoism in Huang Xiaoyan's body, it's not now. Pregnancy will make people lose most of their physical strength. Huang Xiaoyan is now a capable helper. He is not that stupid. What is love? Li Pingfan, wearing glasses, imitated Huang Xiaoyan in a very showy way, carrying the magic sword behind him. At the same time, he looked at the hellhound with a little chard on his body and said this. Fuck, KO Anchor actually attacked an innocent little dog. Who is KO? What did he do wrong? Are you blind? How can this dog be innocent? It is obviously a vicious dog. It will definitely bite people. You are so optimistic. I think it may not be important whether it bites people or not, as long as it does not eat people. What is filial piety? Li Pingfan spoke again. Seeing that no one launched an attack, the hellhound was a little confused. But when he saw Li Pingfan wearing those weird glasses and lecturing him, the hellhound got angry. It rushed over and wanted to tear Li Pingfan to pieces. But soon, when a ray of light fell into its body, it suddenly felt a pain in its abdomen. The whole person. Oh no, the whole dog couldn't help but fall to the ground, carefully not to hurt its abdomen. It seemed that something was growing. Ouch. Huang Xiaoyan was very nervous. Millions of spirit talismans arrays failed to kill this vicious dog. How could she not be worried? But, the vicious dog, that just wanted to eat the 2 of them, why is it now lying on the ground drooling? What did the senior do to it? This is a question worth pondering. What did the reviewer do to a dog to make it pregnant on the spot? Shock. The evil dog from hell actually gave birth in front of tens of millions of viewers. Oh no, the entire world. Is this a distortion of human nature or a loss of morality? All will be answered tonight at 8 o'clock, the reviewer's special show. That's right. This hellhound suffered a double attack from the gaze of pregnancy and the gaze of embryo. At this moment, it is experiencing a peak in its dog life. It is a male. However, never underestimate the aura of motherhood, especially in animals. When they feel that they are pregnant, the truth, goodness, and beauty of motherhood will be revealed. So, at this moment, Li Pingfan took advantage of the time. He strode forward, and the magic sword went straight to the belly of the hellhound whose power had already been lost. Where is the demon suppressing sword? Take me there, otherwise, I don't mind delivering your baby in advance. The hellhound heard this. He gritted his teeth, and stared at Li Pingfan fiercely. Unfortunately, it has lost its ability to fight. Heh. No tears until the coffin is seen. Li Pingfan sneered. The tip of the sword exerted a little force. Then it pierced the abdomen of the hellhound. Of course, only Li Pingfan knew that the so-called pregnancy was just an illusion. Roar. The abdomen was pierced, and the hellhound roared like crazy, trying to struggle. The more you struggle, the more excited I am, and the more ruthless my sword will be. In the bottom layer, it was originally inserted into the body of the Heavenly Demon Emperor, but now the Heavenly Demon Emperor has escaped. The Hellhound spoke. It was scared. After all, its current personality is a strong mother who protects her children, a strong rose. The dog spoke. What force can force a dog to speak? Is it moral degradation? You bunch of black fans. A few days ago, a spirit appeared in the bottom layer. It was a spirit that came down from the top of the tower. I suspect that it pulled out the demon suppressing sword from the body of the Heavenly Demon Emperor. So, the bottom layer is very dangerous. The bottom layer. We came in from the bottom layer. Why didn't we feel the danger? You came in from the first layer. There is another bottom layer under the sword column dragon ceiling formation. I didn't lie to you. The Hellhound's voice was very cold, but Huang Xiaoyan was confused. As a cultivator, it was not excessive for her to hear a monster speak human language. What was excessive was that the voice of this Hellhound was clearly male. Why was she pregnant? At this time, Huang Xiaoyan looked at Li Pingfan again with more fear. The demon suppressing sword is at the bottom of the tower. Do you still want to go? Li Pingfan asked. Of course. But what about this dog? Kill it. Li Pingfan is no longer a merciful person. He still understands the principle of taking advantage of your illness to kill you. However, the Hellhound felt the horror, and its body suddenly shrank, and then turned into a stream of light, and merged into the ground. Damn, forget it. The urgent issue now is the demon suppressing sword. What is the thing that came down from the top of the tower and pulled out the demon suppressing sword? Thinking of this, Li Pingfan couldn't help but look up. Chapter 194. Huang Xiaoyan wants to give birth to a baby for the anchor. Soon, Li Pingfan and his companions went to the bottom of the tower together. The bottom of the tower was now empty. There was nothing but gusts of cold wind. It turns out that this is only one floor of the demon locking tower. The bottom of the tower is still below. Li Pingfan introduced to the video recorder and began to look for the way down. Senior, there seems to be a way here. Huang Xiaoyan shouted. Li Pingfan went over immediately. There was a stone slab at the bottom of the tower that showed signs of movement. Huang Xiaoyan slashed it with a sword, and the stone slab moved away, revealing a staircase leading down. It's really the way down. However, as the stone slab was cut open, a cold air suddenly emerged from the stairs. Before Li Pingfan could go downstairs. At this time, a wisp of black gas floated over. Senior, be careful. The black gas exuded a foul odor, and cultivators were particularly sensitive to this gas. Huang Xiaoyan's face suddenly changed, and she reached out to take down the good behind her ear. The mysterious good of the universe. The good instantly grew larger. Huang Xiaoyan carried both hands on her shoulders, opened the good stopper, and a strong suction force emerged, absorbing all the wisps of black smoke. Just when Huang Xiaoyan breathed a sigh of relief, the black smoke sucked into the good floated out through the tiny gap of the stopper. This shocked Huang Xiaoyan, who knew the magical power of the good very well. No, it's impossible. This is the treasure of the Shanking Palace in Chiante Mountain. How could it not subdue these black smoke? When the black smoke appeared, Li Pingfan also thought of the origin of these things in his mind. Evaluator, don't forget that in addition to the Heavenly Demon Emperor, there are other terrible characters in the locking demon tower. That's right, in front of some characters, the Heavenly Demon Emperor is really a younger brother. Anchor, do you think it is possible that this is the evil sword immortal? That's right. Li Pingfan also thought so. This is very likely to be the evil sword immortal. Of course, the TV series exaggerated the strength of the evil sword immortal. In fact, in the original game, he is not very strong, nor is he the kind of person who can destroy the world and rub against the Emperor of Heaven and the Demon Lord at will. After all, he is just the incarnation of the evil thoughts of the 5 great masters of Shushan. Bang! Li Pingfan held the sword in one hand and swept away a sword energy. Directly dispersed the black air that wanted to wrap around Huang Xiaoyan. At the same time, Li Pingfan strode forward, grabbed Huang Xiaoyan's jade hand with one hand, and gently pulled her behind him. The whole person stood at the entrance, and the magic sword in his hand burst into purple light, shaking off the black smoke. Try to see whether your resentment is greater, or the resentment of thousands or tens of thousands of people is greater. Li Pingfan shouted angrily, and the light on the magic sword became more and more vigorous. This magic sword can absorb resentment and other element and transform them into its own combat power. In other words, the greater the resentment in this black smoke, the stronger the power of the magic sword. The demon suppressing sword is below. You can go and get it. The black smoke made a sound, but it didn't actually speak. But Li Pingfan and Huang Xiaoyan could hear it. It felt like a sound transmission into the ears. Don't worry, I won't leave the demon locking tower. I'm still too weak. Both the demon suppressing sword and the demon sword are my nemesis. I won't leave. The voice of He Yan just fell, but it sounded again. Of course, don't worry that I'm deceiving you. Since you know me, you should know how I can be destroyed. The demon suppressing sword and the demon sword can only suppress me, but can't completely destroy me. So, there's no need for me to waste time with you. After a moment of silence, Li Pingfan made way. From beginning to end, he held Huang Xiaoyan's boneless jade hands, which were a little cold. Senior, are you really letting me go? Seal the demon locking tower is the most important thing. Close your eyes later, Li Pingfan said calmly with a powerful voice. He really pulled. Fuck, live broadcasting to cuckold Yi Yan, a bit domineering. I'm going to give birth to a baby. It feels like the anchor is going to give birth on the spot. Comfortable, that's what I want. What the hell did you imagine? They just held hands. You don't think so much. I'm drunk too, but I still want to ask the anchor, how does it feel to hold hands? Have you heard? The anchor held Huang Xiaoyan's hand. Have you heard? The anchor pressed Huang Xiaoyan against the wall on the spot. Have you heard? The anchor kissed Huang Xiaoyan forcefully during the live broadcast, and it is said that he even stuck out his tongue. Have you heard? The anchor threatened Huang Xiaoyan that if she didn't let him sleep, she would kill someone. Fuck, news, explosive news. Huang Xiaoyan stripped the anchor's clothes. The world has changed. Huang Xiaoyan said that if the anchor didn't let her kiss her, she would kill people. Huang Xiaoyan said she wants the anchor to give her a baby. Jealousy made me split apart. Huang Xiaoyan was willing to be a mistress just to give birth to a baby for the anchor. A big thing that must be mentioned in the demon locking tower. The barrage quickly went off track. It was just a little hand holding in an emergency, but now it has become a private marriage between two people, and the pregnancy has been going on for many days. When this deviated barrage fell into Li Pingfan's eyes, he almost stumbled and fell to the ground. However, he still successfully put on the true love glasses and exchanged for the embryo gaze glasses film. The pregnancy gaze plus the embryo gaze were all released on the black smoke. When the black smoke passed by Li Pingfan and the two of them, it paused obviously, like a stuck disc, but it was fleeting, penetrated the floor, and left this place. Go and get the demon suppressing sword. After being successfully hit, Li Pingfan immediately pulled Huang Xiaoyan downstairs. The bottom floor of the demon locking tower. The bottom of a dozen sword pillars formed a cage. It was very empty here, and there were many chains wrapped around it. There was a natural pool in the center. The natural stone pool was surging with boiling magma. The handle of a sword was green, and the rest of the cold silver long swords floated above the magma. Is this the peerless sword of General Felipeng, the first general in the heaven? Li Pingfan was astonished. This, as a sword immortal, Huang Xiaoyan, who specialized in swordsmanship, also recognized the difference of this long sword. Sure enough, this senior was not an ordinary person. First, it was a demon sword full of evil. Now it is a divine sword that shakes the world. Moreover, just when Li Pingfan stepped onto the bottom floor, the demon sword began to shake, constantly emitting pure golden light. With a whoosh, a sword sounded. The long sword fell steadily into Li Pingfan's hand. Two divine swords, two divine powers, although different, although seemingly complementary and integrated, but attracted each other. Go back. The demon sword is very strong. Li Pingfan likes it very much. But there is no way. The gap in the demon lock tower still needs the demon sword to guard, and he can't take it away. The magic sword is enough. Okay. Huang Xiaoyan nodded, followed Li Pingfan back to the 5th floor. After handing over to Jiang King, he inserted the demon suppressing sword into the gap, and the supreme divine light that burst out instantly killed all the demons that wanted to escape. Done. Li Pingfan breathed a sigh of relief. At the same time, in the demon locking tower, a bubble of dark red light was flying towards him. Could it be the embryo born by the Hellhound? Chapter 195 Jiang King's Commission. He had only used the pregnancy and embryo gaze on the Hellhound and the black gas. The black gas had just hit, and it was obviously less than an hour. Therefore, this dark red embryo must have come from the Hellhound. Hell extinguishing divine fire. When the golden light drilled into Li Pingfan's forehead, he knew the ability of this talent. Fortunately, it was not one of those pitfalls. Lenning. The name sounded very domineering. Senior, I just saw a dark red light circle drill into your forehead. Are you okay? Huang Xiaoan asked nervously. Don't worry. Li Pingfan waved his hand. At the same time, he clasped his fists towards Jiang King. Thank you. You're welcome. Jiang King returned the greeting. Thank you for your help, Taoist priest. If it weren't for the Taoist priest's preaching, I might still be addicted. This is my atonement. Jiang King sighed, and he could see that there was obviously some color on him. Jiang King seemed to be a grey character before, sinking into his own sinful abyss, unable to escape. But now he has returned to normal. Master, Wana is innocent. Although she has half demon blood in her body, she has never done anything evil. Moreover, she has been in the demon locking tower since she was born. This is really unfair to her. Therefore, I would like to propose whether Kinga can leave the demon locking tower. Of course, if Wana does anything against the laws of nature one day, whether Master puts her back in the demon locking tower or kills her directly, Jiang King will have no complaints. Dad. Jiang Wana looked at Jiang King with tears in her eyes. Please allow me, Master. Jiang King clasped his fists and knelt on one knee. Fuck, reviewer, what are you waiting for? This is a good opportunity. If you don't accept it, you will shorten your life. If you don't accept it, you will shorten your life. If you don't accept it, you will shorten your life. Dad, I just want to stay here with you. Stupid, you shouldn't stay here. Li Pingfan sighed. I promised, and your daughter is not a combination of fox demon and human. I lied. What? Your wife is actually the daughter of the demon lord. Of course, this demon lord is not the demon lord. What? So, the other half of Jiang Wana's bloodline should be from the gods and demons. Jiang King fell into silence, looked at Jiang Wana for a moment, and then turned to look at Li Pingfan. Is the Taoist priest from Shushan? No. Please accept my daughter as a disciple. What? Li Pingfan was stunned. The Taoist priest is a man of destiny. Jiang King recognized him at first sight. Wana will be very sad alone in the future, so please agree to the request, even if it is to accept Wana as a maid. Jiang King knew that in the demon world, the demon lord changed very quickly. Moreover, the demon world was unpredictable, and if such a person with impure blood was exposed, it might bring disaster. In addition, because of the blood of the demon lord in her body, she would certainly not be recognized by the righteous path. He didn't want Jiang Wana to end up like him. Master, I'm willing to offer all the skills of Shushan. Just ask you to agree. What are you waiting for? Are you still waiting for someone to marry you directly? Don't you understand this? Maid, you can be close to me. There is no difference from the current secretary. Look at Jiang Wana, how beautiful and extraordinary she is. And she is cute. Don't hesitate. Outside, the strength of the many little monsters that escaped from the locking demon tower is not very high. The people of the night department have been secretly guarding around the locking demon tower for a long time, and they have also added forbidden techniques, so none of the little monsters can escape. It is only a matter of time to destroy them all. However, compared to the little monsters, the most difficult one is the Heavenly Demon Emperor. The Heavenly Demon Emperor beat the two evil spirits in a few strokes, and made them unable to take care of themselves. The appearance of Yi Yan and Mingyu only played a delaying role. The two of them are not the opponent of the Heavenly Demon Emperor. You are the night watchman who accompanies my junior sister. You are going to die soon anyway. We can't defeat this monster. How about having a baby? Mingyu looked at Yi Yan with a dazed look. That's right. Mingyu, who practiced the Jade Girl Heart Sutra, would get sick from time to time. When she got sick, she especially wanted to find a man to have a baby. Yi Yan seemed to knock this pretty, but mentally ill woman to death. Originally, I came down the mountain this time to find that real man to mate with, but I didn't expect that I could only make do with it. As she said that, Mingyu pointed to the mirror image in the sky. Leaping Fan. Yu Yang couldn't help gritting his teeth when he saw this man. Damn it. Isn't he the son of the plane? Why did a handsome guy come and steal the limelight in various ways? Bah, I'm much better than him. I'm the little Prince Xiahou Gangpeo. The Sky Demon Emperor crossed his arms and walked towards the two of them indifferently. Your ability is amazing. You can raise the 8 Huang Yao banners at such a young age, and you can also summon a copycat version of Chaos Beast. The Heavenly Demon Emperor sneered. If you can really summon the ancient beast Chaos, I will definitely die. Unfortunately, you can't do it. Yu Yan looked at the broken Huang Yao banner on the ground with an extremely ugly face. He had wanted to subdue the Heavenly Demon Emperor, but unfortunately he didn't expect that the Heavenly Demon Emperor was so powerful that he could resist the power of the Huang Yao banner. Forget it, I'm a little interested in your power, I will keep it. The Heavenly Demon Emperor can summon all kinds of demons, in a sense. His ability is somewhat similar to Yu Yan. But you. The voice paused. The Heavenly Demon Emperor looked at Mingyu. Although you are not from the Shushan Immortal Sword sect, I'm sorry, what I hate most in my life is sword cultivators, you people who are commonly known as sword immortals. You, go and die in peace. Millions, spirit talisman explosion. Just when the Heavenly Demon Emperor was about to attack Mingyu, Huang Xiaoyan, who was riding a flying sword, rushed over from a distance. At the same time, countless spells emerged from her body and rushed towards the Heavenly Demon Emperor. This move also hurt the Hellhound to some extent. Damn. Yu Yan was somewhat happy when he heard Huang Xiaoyan's voice. However, when he turned his head, he found Huang Xiaoyan flying a sword. The idiot who stole his limelight was standing behind Huang Xiaoyan at this moment, holding her waist with both hands. He was immediately furious. What a pity. The strength of the Heavenly Demon Emperor was still too strong. He raised his hand and slapped it. Then he smashed the countless spells. Another one. Is this considered as giving interest? The Heavenly Demon Emperor sneered and pointed at Huang Xiaoyan who was rushing over. A strong air began to gather between his fingers, and the air pressure was so strong that it seemed to penetrate the sky and the earth. Junior sister, be careful, you are not his opponent. This is not an ordinary monster. Even if it is a monster, it is the king of monsters. Boom. The powerful spiritual energy rushed towards Huang Xiaoyan and swallowed them both in an instant. The beam of light rushed to the sky and everything became quiet, as if it was over. Sister Huang Junior Sister. Chapter 196 5 times Sword God. You've already said it. A turtle among monsters is still a turtle, no matter how strong it is. Leaping Fan's voice sounded. The light column dissipated. He held the magic sword in his hand, held Huang Xiaoyan's waist with one hand, and slowly fell from the air. The strong light column was split by the magic sword, and the two were unharmed. Leaping Fan fell to the ground, and at the same time, put down Huang Xiaoyan, whose face was flushed, and strode forward. Heavenly Demon Emperor, do you want to kill yourself when you go back, or do I kill you and send you back? Leaping Fan pointed his sword to the sky, and his voice became more and more indifferent. Fuck, just don't be afraid of anything, big brother, it's so fierce. Heavenly Demon Emperor, do you have a lot of question marks? Are you timid or not? I just ask you, if you are timid or not. I'm afraid that the anchor will be as fierce as a tiger, and then look at the record 0 to 5. Hehe. The Heavenly Demon Emperor sneered. This is not Shushan. At the same time, he looked around fearlessly. Besides, even if it's Shushan, without the demon suppressing sword, the Shushan bullies won't be able to hurt me. Leaping Fan pointed to his chest. Have you recovered from the wound left by the demon suppressing sword on your chest? Even if I only have 50% of my strength, you are no match. You are nothing but ants in my eyes. The Heavenly Demon Emperor stretched. This world is so beautiful. When he first escaped from the demon locking tower, he wanted to leave, because the demon locking tower is in Shushan. But after he escaped, he found that there was no Shushan, and there were only a few so-called cultivators. Although they have some unique abilities, they are still too weak. Perhaps many years have passed, the world has already changed, and Shushan has been destroyed. Don't pretend. Since you don't choose, then I will make a choice for you, chop you to death, and put you back. Pingfan held his forehead, strode forward, and the magic sword in his hand glowed at the same time. Senior. Huang Xiaoyan shouted nervously. Yu Yan and his senior sister were both defeated, and there were two evil spirits who had lost their ability to fight in the distance. None of the four of them could beat the Heavenly Demon Emperor. The most important thing was that the Heavenly Demon Emperor obviously didn't show any injuries. Does Pingfan really have the ability? Don't be impulsive, hahaha. The Heavenly Demon Emperor couldn't help laughing. What's wrong with people nowadays? They are so young, but they actually like it. The Heavenly Demon Emperor hadn't finished speaking. The laughter stopped abruptly, and his face became stiff and pale. Because at this moment, Pingfan burst out with endless energy. The magic sword slowly rose and floated in front of Pingfan. At the same time, the true essence and spiritual energy began to intertwine and entangle behind Pingfan. Shushan sword technique. The Heavenly Demon Emperor was afraid. This is the sword technique of Shushan. It's absolutely right. He is too familiar with it. 10,000 swords art? The Heavenly Demon Emperor asked in horror. No, sword god. Pingfan answered slowly, and at the same time, a shadow of a sword holding god appeared behind him. At the same time, countless swords floated up. It was like a dragon formed by the gathering of sword spirits. Sword god, so what? Without the demon suppressing sword, even if you know the strongest attack in Shushan sword technique, you can't do anything to me. Sword god, after all, is just a move in Shushan sword controlling technique. No. Pingfan stretched out a finger and shook it a few times. Yes, the strongest attack with 5 times the power. As soon as the voice fell, he pointed his finger forward. The shadow of the sword-wielding god rushed out suddenly, followed by a sword dragon formed by tens of thousands of sword spirits. Boom. Wherever it passed, sword marks were everywhere. It seemed that the void was cut by this sharp sword. Defeat the enemy with one move. No nonsense. After the sword light dissipated, the Heavenly Demon Emperor stood in place. The magic sword had been inserted into his chest. Come, the one-day tour of the Demon Locking Tower welcomes you. It's over. Pingfan breathed a sigh of relief. He locked the Heavenly Demon Emperor back into the Demon Locking Tower. The evaluation task was over, and the Demon Locking Tower was also summoned back by the system. Unfortunately, he missed the demon suppressing sword and failed to keep it. But it's okay. Although there is no demon sword, there is still the magic sword now, and the power of the magic sword is not much weaker than the demon sword. With the disappearance of the Demon Lock Tower, the sky mirror covering the world of the Ace Inspector also dissipated. Thank you, Senior. Pingfan, who was standing on the top of the mountain, just stretched his waist. Huang Xiaoyan came with a sword and bowed his hands. Thank me, Senior. The sword god move just now made me feel a lot. My understanding of swordsmanship may be more profound. It's true. Huang Xiaoyan now has a more sophisticated understanding of sword control, and perhaps her cultivation will be improved a lot in the future. You're welcome. No, I still have to thank you, Senior. Xiaoyan mistook you for an evil demon before. You can summon the sword-wielding god and defeat the Demon King with one blow, which is enough to prove your magical power. Huang Xiaoyan is a sword cultivator. The strength of the Heavenly Demon King is obvious to all. Now Pingfan can defeat the enemy with one move, which shows how big the gap between them is. Well, if you really want to thank me, why don't you do me a favor? Pingfan showed a wicked smile. He was handsome to begin with. Now in Huang Xiaoyan's eyes, he was the mysterious swordsman. This kind of smile that seemed like it was full of bad intentions seemed particularly wicked and seductive to her. Senior, you, just speak up. Here he comes. Here he comes. This kind of smile. The anchor didn't hold back his fart. Fuck, my fairy Huang might be in danger. Warning. Yu Yan has 5 seconds to arrive at the battlefield. Wait, who noticed fairy Huang's shy expression? Why did she seem to feel like she was being teased? She must have been deceived by the anchor's appearance. Fairy Huang. Senior, are you really going to make me pregnant? No, no, no. Li Pingfan waved his hand, smiled calmly and said, "That's right. I think Fairy Huang has an extraordinary temperament, and Yuxu Peak is a famous sect, so she should be knowledgeable. I wonder if Fairy Huang knows anything about this pair of glasses?" As he spoke, Li Pingfan took out the True Love glasses from his arms. "Is this a magic weapon?" "Yes." Li Pingfan nodded, and at the same time, exchanged the glasses for the embryo gaze. "Look, this pair of glasses is very interesting and very cute." Li Pingfan put on the glasses and wiped them carefully. "Look into my eyes, don't blink." Okay. Although Huang Xiaoyan had seen Li Pingfan use glasses to deal with hellhounds, she didn't know what its function was. So now she was also very curious. "Look carefully. What is love? What is filial piety?" Li Pingfan, wearing mosaic glasses, was a little serious. "Serious men are the most handsome. You bastard, are you dreaming?" At the moment when the light of the glasses emanated, Yu Yan rushed over and pushed Huang Xiaoyan away. "Come at me if you can. A real man must have the courage to take on everything. Be brave to face any difficulties." Coincidentally, the aura of pregnancy gaze and embryo gaze was all monopolized by Yu Yan. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 197. Fate is really amazing. Yu Yan, who dared to be a hero and save the beauty, endured the torture of pregnancy and childbirth alone. Yu Yan, who was lying on the ground and twitching constantly, was a little scary. At least Huang Xiaoyan, this naive girl, was very scared. Does he really have such a terrible ability? Whoever he stares at will get pregnant. It's beyond the scope. Lun Jia is still a child who has never been in love. To be more precise, he is still a minor. It's seriously beyond the scope. Looking at Yu Yan lying on the ground, Li Pingfan sighed. "I made a mistake. Try again." However, it happened that he wanted to try whether the embryo gaze could show the effect to multiple people at once. Just when Li Pingfan was about to take action, a ray of light flew in the void again, or to be more precise, a black bubble, floating through the void and drilling into Li Pingfan's eyebrows. It is also the ability of the embryo gaze. When he was in the demon locking tower, he had used it once on the black gas, and it seemed to be successful. Li Pingfan once suspected that the black gas was the late evil sword fairy, immortal soul. He didn't pay attention to the content for the time being, because Shen Yangtai and several others had gathered here at this moment. The deadline has come. It's time to start the show. What happened to the scum? It has to be admitted that Shen Yangtai's ability is extraordinary. After losing his combat ability for a short period of time, after being beaten by the Heavenly Demon Emperor, he has recovered so quickly. The legendary human-powered perpetual motion machine is really well deserved. "Hey, your male god is like this? Can't see." Shen Yangtai looked at Zisha beside him. Zisha looked at Li Pingfan with stars in her eyes. She didn't worship Li Pingfan before, because he was very mysterious, and there was a breath from the demon world, which was also very dangerous. But now, when Li Pingfan singled out the Heavenly Demon Emperor who beat Shen Yangtai, Yu Yan, and Mingyu, he was really brilliant and a little cool. "I have to lick little brother, you are heroic and brave. It's hard to fight monsters. If you have time, do you want to join us?" Mingyu's Taoist robe dancing in the wind revealed a pair of slender jade legs, her eyes full of spring, and she strolled in front of Li Pingfan. "Miss, do you want to invite me for a drink?" "Oh, big sister Mingyu is out. Everyone please don't remind the anchor. It's time to give birth, and the real live show has finally begun." This is the real version of giving birth. The pregnancy gaze is all an illusion. Speaking of which, forget the pregnancy gaze. When did the anchor master the embryo gaze? I seem to have a blackout. Let go of the anchor. Come to me. Big sister Mingyu, sleep with me. I will give birth to a baby for you. No. Mingyu shook her head shyly. Huang Xiaoyan, who saw this scene, held her forehead with one hand, her face full of black lines. Life is not easy, the sword fairy sighed. Alas, senior sister, this is a relapse. Mingyu looked at Li Pingfan charmingly, her eyes were full of autumnal waves, and her red lips opened slightly. If you have time, let's have a baby together. Pingfan didn't know much about the world of Ace Inspector. He knew some of the main characters. He didn't know anything about a supporting character like Mingyu, let alone Mingyu's illness. Okay, really? Mingyu was very happy. Mingyu was happy that she didn't expect to get a reply just after sending out the mating application. And it seemed that it was a very enthusiastic reply. Pingfan was happy because of the embryo gaze. That's right. That's what he thought. Then let's all do it together. Pingfan smiled. Defeat the monster. This is such a happy thing. Together? There are celebrations together? Mingyu was astonished. What's wrong with that? I think it's more exciting to be together. The main thing is to save points, and now his points are very few. After launching a wave of 5-fold sword god skills, he released the embryo gaze a few more times. This is a bit too exciting. Mingyu still couldn't accept it. She likes men and wants to get men. But it doesn't mean that she likes to participate in group sports. Besides, my junior sister is still young. How can she join in? There is also a little lolly here. No, absolutely no. Pingfan was puzzled. Does this have anything to do with age? Don't be so stubborn. Gender and species are not a problem. What? Gender is not a problem, and species is not a problem? Of course, ask your junior sister. We also encountered a hellhound in the demon locking tower. You also exercised with a hellhound? Obviously. Huang Xiaoyan, who was a little silly, thought that exercise was just a simple fight. Well, I contributed a little bit, but it was mainly senior. Mingyu now seemed to be struck by lightning. Junior sister, when did you become so wild? Senior sister has never experienced it, but you actually experienced it in the demon locking tower. Pingfan realized it later and understood the hidden meaning of Mingyu's words. Ahem. Anyway, don't care so much. The explanation was not clear. The main thing was that if I continued to explain, I was afraid that these people would think I was a pervert and run away. He was busy exchanging the embryo lens film and sticking it on the true love glasses. Everyone, this pair of glasses is very magical. Someone once said that only male gods and goddesses can stare at it. Would you like to try it? Damn, I'll be the first one to come. Sheyangte should probably change his name. Sheyangmang, always reckless. No, it would be great if we could come together. There are not many points left. If we continue to waste them like this, we won't get any useful talents. Well, a tense and exciting multiplayer sport is about to begin. Sheyangte, Miss Zisha, Sister Huang, Sister Yumingyu, and the slightly miserable Yan. Wait and see, is the person being pushed over in the distance Zeman Dagwenren? Well, black hair, squinting eyes, and a chicken. I mean there is a yellow chicken standing on the shoulder. It means that Dagwenren can't run away. I heard that Dagwenren was injured. Why is he still here? Damn, people are not allowed to come over to have a celebration banquet after the battle. Could it be Brother Bio who is pushing the official? Diabetes insipidus? Fate. Wonderful. Everything is so timely. Not too early or too late. It just happens to be you. What is love? Pingfan cleared his throat and made a gesture. What is filial piety? What is he doing? I don't know. Don't look at me. I'm confused too. Several people looked at each other. Only Zisha and Sheyangte showed expectant expressions. Zisha purely admired Pingfan. Sheyangte wanted to prove that he was a peerless male god. Feel the glory of motherhood. As soon as the voice fell, the glasses burst out with infinite brilliance. Mingyu, Sheyangte, Zisha, Zeman official who came to participate in the celebration, and Brother Bio with diabetes insipidus. Relatively speaking, Huang Xiaoyan was more cautious. She chose to avoid it. After all, she had seen the weirdness of this pair of glasses. Hey, why didn't the glasses glow this time? Pingfan muttered. It glows. Huang Xiaoyan answered subconsciously and turned her head at the same time, looking at the right person. Fuck, it hurts so much, I'll chop you to death. Yi Yan, who had finally survived a wave, climbed up exhausted. But fate is indescribable. Pingfan's glasses were glowing. It was so familiar. Oh my god. Chapter 198, The Ultimate Killing Move. Seeing several people all fall to the ground, Leapingfan felt a sense of accomplishment. The 8 protagonists got pregnant on the spot. This is sensational news. What a pity. What a pity. The live broadcast of Ace World is over. Otherwise they would be very popular. This is too exciting. So many people got pregnant on the spot. The person above doesn't seem to have seen the world. Haven't you heard of another title of the anchor? The famous pregnant offender once made hundreds of millions of viewers in the live broadcast. Room pregnant at the same time by himself. Hundreds of millions of viewers? You are bragging, right? Now it's only more than 50 million. Do you know what it means? Ignorance is not your fault. I'm too lazy to explain it to you. By the way, there are replays of each live broadcast on the reviewer page. You can go and have a look. My daughter Huang Xian, even when she is pregnant, she is so pitiful, unlike others who yell and scream. That's right. Among the pregnant ones, only Huang Xiaoyan's style is different from others. The long sword in her hand was stuck in the ground. She supported the long sword with one hand and covered her lower abdomen with the other hand. Her face was red, beads of sweat fell, her teeth bit her lower lip, and her eyes stared at Leapingfan. Some resentment. I'm jealous. You actually made my goddess pregnant. Damn guy. Calm down. Calm down. You'll get used to it. I'm an experienced person. Leapingfan coughed twice, turned his head to avoid Huang Xiaoyan's eyes that seemed to be scumbag, and began to check. Performance art talent. Damn, who wants this thing? Leapingfan didn't want to be a performance artist. The first talent he extracted and copied from Yan was performance art. Don't even think about it, just give it back to him. Next, you can check the talent you got from that black gas. Leapingfan's body froze before he checked. Of course, it wasn't because the talent was too strong. It was because of his points. Now there were only 200 points left. What's going on? Where are my points? There's a hacker hacking my account. Where's the system? Security? How could this happen? Reviewer, rest assured, everything is normal with the account. The points disappeared because you consumed the embryo gaze glasses membrane. Didn't I redeem it? Please pay attention to the number of people. A pair of glasses can only be used for one person. Why didn't you tell me in advance? Common sense. Damn. If he had known this, he should have used them one by one. For a guy like Bioj who doesn't have a very outstanding talent, why you sit on him? It would be a waste of points. And Mingyu. Although Mingyu is strong, she and Huang Xiaoyan are from the same school, so you can choose to avoid her. Anyway, Huang Xiaoyan is the heroine after all, and her ability must be better than Mingyu. Your uncle will definitely live 100 years. Damn. There is no way to scold this dog system. Scolding him is no different from scolding himself. Immortal soul. After calming down, Leapingfan went to check the talent he got from the black air. It comes from the immortal evil thoughts. In a sense, the black energy comes from the evil thoughts of the 5 giants of Shushan. Thoughts are something mysterious and cannot be destroyed. Leapingfan pondered. This is true. In the TV adaptation, the evil sword immortal became very powerful after absorbing the evil thoughts of the world. The Emperor of Heaven, the Demon Lord, etc. are not his opponents. But in the original game world, although the evil sword immortal is strong, he is at most a little stronger than Changlao in his normal state. After encountering Changlao in the Demon Lord mode, he is still a little weak. Cultivating this talent can condense the soul, take thoughts as a source, reshape the avenue, and the soul is immortal, and the real body is immortal. Leapingfan did not expect this talent to be so powerful. Some are similar to the Yuanshan of the Immortal Cultivator, but stronger than the Yuanshan of the Immortal Cultivator. The Yuanshan can be destroyed when it encounters a strong person. But the immortal soul comes from thoughts, takes thoughts as a source, and the thoughts are immortal, so the soul is naturally immortal. In a sense, it is an invincible existence. Domineering. Nothing else to say. This trip to the plane world was very rewarding for him. Whether it was the Hellhound's Hellfire or the Black Gas's immortal soul, they were all very powerful innate abilities. Usher Yangte finished first. After a comfortable shout, his body fell and slumped on the ground. At the same time, a dark purple bubble flew out of his body and floated towards Leapingfan. Eye of breaking law. It was finally not a pitfall. Li Pingfan was afraid of learning Shen Yangte's organ regeneration or the return of all rivers to the origin. He didn't need to sell his kidneys, nor did he want to drink more than a dozen bottles of beer at once. This technique can see through the strength of the opponent's magic. This is a cheat. When fighting with others, activate this innate ability in advance, and you will know how much of a threat the opponent's magic poses to you. You can consider how to pretend according to the situation. After Shen Yangte fell, the next one to finish was Zisha. A bubble of the same color flew out of Zisha's body. After being poked open by Li Pingfan, he got an introduction to this talent. The Finger of Annihilation. I should have bought a lottery ticket today. Li Pingfan didn't expect that the Emperor of Europe had such great luck. Come on, within 1 minute, I want to know about the ability of the cute Zisha's Finger of Annihilation. The Finger of Annihilation is a powerful move when Zisha returns to the form of the Devil of Destruction. One finger bursts out a purple lightning-like energy shock, and once used 2 times the power, to break the amulet array of the daughter of the Yellow Fairy. Think about my big sister Zisha, when she returns to her true form, and there is still a little control. Damn you Yan, you are blind, and don't know the charm of my big sister Zisha. Although Li Pingfan doesn't know much about this world, he knows that Zisha once had a unique skill. That is, a pig in one bite. You can't learn to swallow a roast suckling pig in one mouthful. Killing move, Tiger Landing style. Oh my god, this name is very domineering. Everyone, what do you think if I secretly learn Yi Yan's killing move? That's right, it's Tiger Landing style. This name, it's a bit too strong. Fuck, the ultimate skill of annihilation, the anchor must not learn it. I forgot that the host has the ability of embryo gaze, so he should be able to randomly draw a small talent or skill from others. However, without exaggeration or understatement, the host is really the reincarnation of the European emperor, and he can actually draw this kind of world-destroying magical power. I can say that in the world of Ace, there is no opponent for Yi Yan's killer move. Host, you can decide for yourself. I'm jealous. The host's luck is too good. He must have saved the world in his previous life. Is it really that strong? Learn. After learning, Li Pingfan was like being struck by lightning. The whole person stood there stiffly. There was some moisture in the corners of his eyes. The tough guy doesn't cry easily. You actually cheated me. Am I still your beloved father? Chapter 199. My name is Li Qi. Wang Shengli was not joking. Imperial censor? Are you serious? Shen Yangte thought that the Night Department was going to investigate this mysterious king, but he didn't expect that Wang Shengli would actually give the Imperial censorship order to someone else. Are you willing to become the 6th censor of the Night Department? Wang Shengli asked seriously. I don't agree. Yi Yan scolded. This guy's too good at flirting. Huang Xiaoyan, that stupid woman who grew up in the mountains, has been flirted with. If they become colleagues now, wouldn't Huang Xiaoyan be fooled by him? Student Yi Yan, this is the arrangement of the entire Night Department, and I'm the minister of the Night Department. Wang Shengli turned around and said. Yi Yan's dead fish eyes stared at Li Pingfan. I don't agree either. Shen Yangte thought that it was enough to have one male god in the Night Department. And it happened to be him. There was no need for a second handsome guy. Obviously, Li Pingfan was a rival with competitive pressure. However, he has always been muscular and not very smart, so he didn't notice the subtle changes between Li Pingfan and Huang Xiaoyan. That's enough. I've already said that this is the arrangement of the Night Department. Are you willing to become the Imperial censor? It's this. I don't know what to call this gentleman. Wang Shengli turned around and asked. Huang Xiaoyan also looked at Li Pingfan eagerly. They really didn't know Li Pingfan's identity yet, and didn't even know his name. The audience in the live broadcast room was also looking forward to it. Some people were even ready to check. Surprisingly, the barrage was normal, and no one was trying to make Li Pingfan say his real name subconsciously. This group of people who don't watch the live broadcast properly and just want to eat shit every day. My name is Li Qi. Damn, what the hell is Li Qi? Oh my god, if I, Li Qi, were not born, would the sword path be as long as the night? Li Qi, the peerless king of coercion, anchor, I believe your lies. I really want to hammer you to death, hammer you to death. The 10,000 Jin iron hammer is already thirsty, you are still coquettish. So it's classmate Li Qi. Senior Li. Huang Xiaoan also clasped her fists towards Li Pingfan. To be honest, she was looking forward to it. Looking forward to Li Pingfan joining the night department and becoming a colleague. The main reason was that Li Pingfan's mastery of the sword was too exquisite. He could actually summon the sword-wielding gods and slay the evil with 10,000 swords. This was definitely a great power in the sword. Join the night department and become the 6th imperial censor of the night department. Li Pingfan repeated. Of course, classmate Li, please rest assured that the night department will keep your identity confidential and there will also be a certain amount of compensation. Joining is no problem, but I'm really not from your world. I'm a time traveler. It doesn't matter. Wang Shengli didn't believe it. That's right. No one would believe it. Li Pingfan was sweating. Then you can predict what will happen tomorrow or what will happen in the near future. Shen Yangte snorted. This guy really does whatever it takes to get attention. His strength was already very outstanding, and with the mirror projection covering the sky, he has become very famous. Do you want to label yourself as a time traveler? Do you really want to be in the spotlight? Please allow me to correct you. You are talking about a reborn person who was reborn from the future to the past. Maybe he knows something that happened on the timeline. But I'm a time traveler who traveled from another world. Yes, yes, yes. Yu Yan snorted. Nowadays, people are embarrassed to go out unless they are sick or have some special identity. Everyone says that they are lonely wanderers or that they are in the late stage of autism. In short, they want to be unique. I didn't expect you to be a time traveler. I'm a time traveler, believe me. Li Pingfan felt powerless for the first time. No one believed him. Moreover, seeing how they agreed with him casually, he seemed like an idiot. Forget it, forget it. I'm too lazy to argue with you. Li Pingfan waved his hand. Anyway, I'll think about it and reply briefly. Okay. Wang Shengli was very satisfied. Li Qi's current strength is obviously the strongest among these imperial censors. Just relying on the sword god method of subduing the sky demon emperor with one hand, he can take the lead. Damn, the host won't keep the other world, right? Does this count as marrying into the family? Host, come back, we can't live without you. Don't be tempted. Huang Xiaoan has long legs and big breasts, and I, Li Qi, am not bad either, and I can make up for it the day after tomorrow. That's right, we are your harem. Host, we have all given birth to your children. In fact, don't be so rigid about gender. Host, come back, I will lead you to unlock a new chapter in your life. Li Pingfan stretched and stood up. Minister Wang, can we talk alone? Alone? Sure. Wang Shengli nodded, waved to the others. You guys go and get busy first. I'll talk to classmate Li Qi alone. Although the others were unhappy, they still walked out. After everyone left, Li Pingfan took the Imperial Censor's order in his hand and started to play with it. Minister Wang, it's not impossible to join the night department, but I have a better suggestion. Better suggestion? Yes, I will introduce you to someone who is even more powerful. Oh, who? Minister Wang, wait a moment, I'll be back soon. After that, Li Pingfan put the token on the coffee table, walked to the window and opened it. Student Li Qi, we are now on the 17th floor. What are you going to do? Minister Wang exclaimed. Li Pingfan jumped out of the windowsill, and as his body fell, he reached out and knocked on the energy reactor on his chest. The next moment, the steel armor attached to the whole body, a red iron man, soared into the sky and disappeared in a blink of an eye. This scene fell on the eyes of Minister Wang, who was at the windowsill and almost thought that a tragedy had happened. Modern technology armor. Where did this student Li Qi come from? Why is there no information about him? Is he really a time traveler? Minister Wang fell into deep thought. In a blink of an eye, Li Pingfan, wearing steel armor, appeared in the nameless green mountain. After falling, the steel armor naturally dissipated. Senior. In front of Li Pingfan, there was a new grave. In front of the grave, knelt a girl in a plain white dress. After hearing Li Pingfan's steps, she spoke. Wanna, how about I introduce someone to you? Li Pingfan asked. Senior, are you going to abandon me? This girl was the one Li Pingfan brought out of the demon locking tower, Jiang King's daughter, Jiang Wana. Li Pingfan was silent. He also made the plan after careful consideration. From some levels, Jiangwana was not suitable for his original world. In the original world, technological civilization was developed, and it was obviously difficult for the cultivation civilization to develop. Jiangwana was more suitable here. You have grown up, you must learn to be independent. Li Pingfan put on a scumbag face. Ah, what kind of scumbag is he? He didn't do anything to Jiangwana. Besides, he just promised Jiang King to take his daughter out of the demon locking tower. Chapter 200 Settling Jiangwana. In the restroom where Li Pingfan stayed before, he sat with Jiangwana, and Wang Shengli sat opposite them. Is this demon classmate the one you want to introduce to me? Jiangwana had appeared in the live broadcast before, so Wang Shengli had naturally seen her before. Fuck, let me say it one last time. I'm a demon, a combination of human and demon, not the demon you mentioned, old thing. Li Pingfan cursed. The host is not going to abandon Miss Wana, right? She is very pitiful. My father just got peace, but I didn't expect to be abandoned again. Actually, I can understand the host's behavior. Alas, after all, if I have to choose between Jiangwana and Huang Xiaoyan, I must choose Sister Huang. Wait, so the host means to bring Sister Huang back and leave Wana behind. Why can't they both be brought back? The host must be a child, actually making a choice. Li Pingfan ignored the comments. He has his own arrangements. Through these trips to the parallel world, he thought of some things. Whether it is a parallel world or a plane world, perhaps they will be connected in the future. No, the 7th of May have made a name for himself in the world of Zuanfa. As for this world of ace senses, if Jiangwana can spread the shush and swordsmanship here, maybe she can also become a trump card for Li Pingfan. This is his plan. He did not abandon Jiangwana, but gave Jiangwana a more important task. This point has been made clear by the conversation between the two on Kingshan. Jiangwana did not want to be the one being protected all the time, and she respected Li Pingfan's proposal. Classmate Li Qi, you should know how the night department treats demons or monsters. Stop talking nonsense. Your night department now uses 2 demon kings as censors, and you are still worried about one more half demon. Li Pingfan snorted. But, it's still a bit difficult. So, you still want me to accept the position of the 6th person? Li Pingfan asked. Wang Shengli showed an embarrassed expression. It's true that Li Qi, and I hit it off right away. 2 conditions. I'll agree if you agree. Go ahead. First, I want Wuming Kingshan, and at the same time, help me build a few Taoist temples. That's no problem. Second, I want to apply for a peace order for Jiangwana. On the premise that she doesn't endanger the world, no one can hurt or interfere with her life. That's natural. When the time comes, with Li Qi protecting Miss Wana, I don't think anyone will be stupid enough to cause trouble. Wang Shengli agreed. Li Pingfan nodded with relief. This is exactly what he wanted. Minister Wang, I really am a visitor from another world. It's okay. If classmate Li Qi misses home, it's okay to go back. Minister Wang didn't believe it at all. Mission accomplished. Wang Shengli left the Imperial Censor's order and left with relief. Senior Li, are you really leaving? Jiangwana asked what was in her mind after Wang Shengli left. You buried the sword in Wuming Kingshan, right? Li Pingfan asked. My father wore a sword and was buried in Kingshan. From today on, Wuming Kingshan is your territory, and the Taoist temple built with the help of Wang Shengli is your home. Wuming Kingshan will be called Demoi from now on, and the Taoist temple can be called Xiangsha sect after it is built. I will give you the Taoist name of King Grao Zenran on behalf of your father. Li Pingfan stretched his body. The mission is almost over, and it is time for him to go back. Hearing this, Jiangwana's eyes were filled with tears. The name of King Grao Zenran was obviously taken from her father Jiang King and her mother Yu Raoxia. Senior Li, you really have a heart. Senior Li, I don't want Wuming Kingshan. My father asked me to follow you. Even if it means going through fire and water, I will follow you. There is no way. Jiangwana has such a feudal character. Jiang King's words have made it very clear, except that he asked Jiangwana to marry Li Pingfan. So, she decided to abide by her father's arrangement. It can also be understood as repaying a favor with one's body. After all, Li Pingfan saved her crazy father. In the past Li Pingfan would have agreed. However, for more important considerations, he could only give up temporarily. Follow me. The two people appeared again in Wuming Kingshan. Oh no, Emily Mountain. Jiang Wana obviously didn't know what to do. Li Pingfan issued an order, and soon, a giant with a red color appeared in front of the two. Stormblood Red. After consideration, he decided to leave Stormblood Red here. Now he is very strong. Stormblood Red is not very meaningful to him. The two technological weapons, Stormblood Red, are not as powerful as steel armor, and they are not self-aware and intelligent enough. They are huge and inconvenient to carry. The most important thing is that after he leaves, he is worried that the Night Department will regret and attack Jiang Wana. It's called Stormblood Red. From today on, you also have the right to control it. Stormblood Red. This kind of props given by the system are all based on Li Pingfan. However, Li Pingfan can give it orders and give Jiang Wana the right to control it, but the highest command is still Li Pingfan. Besides this, take these two. Remember to use them as your trump cards. Don't use them easily. Li Pingfan exchanged two magnetic storm reaction balls and gave them to Jiang Wana. In this way, he learned a full set of shush and sword control skills from Jiang King in vain, and he was worthy of Jiang King. No, Senior Li, what will you do if you give it to me? More importantly, Jiang Wana didn't want to leave Li Pingfan. Wana, listen, I will keep you here for other arrangements. I'm the founder of Xianxia sect, and you are the current leader. Stormblood Red is the guardian beast of my Xianxia sect, and these two magnetic storm reaction balls are my Xianxia sect's magic weapons. I hope that, when you come back in the future, you can carry forward the Xianxia sect. After all, your father is watching at the foot of the mountain. Because I don't trust others. After all, they are not my own people. Li Pingfan has some potential to be a scumbag. A girl who is devoted to him was entrusted with an important task by Li Pingfan with just a few words. I won't take you away, not because I don't like you, but because I will give you a more important task. I will only give this kind of task to the people closest to me. This was the first force he established in the other world. This is also why Li Pingfan did not force Jiang Wana to join the Night Department. How could a force belonging to him be loyal to the Night Department? Finally, the considerate Jiang Wana nodded heavily at Li Pingfan and accepted the two magnetic storm reaction balls. After settling Jiang Wana, Li Pingfan stayed in this world for another day. Let Wang Shengli sign all the agreements, such as Li Pingfan joining the Night Department. It doesn't matter, anyway, it was Li Qi who signed, not him. Similarly, let Wang Shengli apply for the ownership of Kingshan and transfer it to Jiang Wana, and apply for a Night Department protection order for Jiang Wana. After everything was settled, Li Pingfan decided to leave. He was still too worried. Jiang Wana is actually very strong. She inherited all the strength of her mother Yu Raoxia. The daughter of the Demon King really thought she was just a soy sauce. Although Jiang Wana is simple and has lived in the demon locking tower for many years, she is not stupid. Being able to live in the demon locking tower for so many years without shelter is enough to prove that Jiang Wana has extraordinary survival ability. After all, Jiang King was in a state of madness most of the time. I'm really a time traveler. Li Pingfan said again at the celebration banquet. Wang Shengli nodded. Yes, you are a time traveler. Do you want to perform a time travel? Anyway, it's not like I didn't tell you. You can't blame me for being a bit. You are stupid. Dead fish eyes Yi Yan and Shen Yang Te sat together surprisingly without any conflict. This new guy is very pretentious, always trying to make himself different from us. That's right, I'm the identity of the devil. Do I go out and say it every day? However, the time traveler sounds obviously more gimmicky than my identity as a devil. I suspect this guy wants to pick up girls. Teach him a lesson? Yu Yan rubbed his fists. How can it be considered a lesson? This is clearly the sincere love of the senior for the junior. Makes sense. The two smiled at each other and decided to hold back a big move as a gift. Halfway through the dinner, Li Pingfan said goodbye first. He went to the roof of this restaurant. He stretched lazily in the evening breeze. There was no reluctance to leave this time. During the live broadcast, Li Pingfan noticed something, and he talked to the system about it. The Zuanfa world is a temporary live broadcast. Parallel world number 2 is the same concept. But this time, the Ace sensor world has options. Sure enough, the system gave an answer. The Ace sensor world has been added to the reviewer's coordinate points. After upgrading to a level 3 reviewer, you can get the right to travel to the coordinate point world through points. In other words, in the future, he can come to the Ace sensor world whenever he wants. Are you leaving? End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.